Monero Talk is sponsored by Cake Wallet, a trustless, open source wallet that gives you the keys to your crypto. Invoice, donate, and trade your Monero with peace of mind, piece of cake. And by StealthyX, an instant exchange where privacy is a top concern. Go to stealthyx.io to instantly exchange between Monero and 450 plus assets without having to create an account or register and with no limits, making StealthyX a simple way to purchase Monero with crypto anonymously. Monero Talk is also made possible from contributions by viewers and listeners like you, and supporting us is easier than ever by typing in monerotalk.crypto in your monero.com or Cake Wallet send address field to send us a tip.
All right. What's going on?
How are you guys?
How's it going, man? Yeah, there you go. You're a little out of camera.
Yeah.
What's up, man? Sorry for the delay. Like I said, the New York traffic. You know, I'm opted out in some aspects of my life, but I'm very much tethered in others. So,
yeah, New York traffic is tough.
Oh yeah, New York lifestyle.
All the traffic I've been in, that is like it comes to a standstill.
Yeah.
So I'm glad you made it.
Where are you at, man? I don't even know. I don't know much about you. So yeah, before we even get into things, I would love to get your background. I know we had our quick phone call earlier in the day. You were saying some very interesting things, but I really do not know much more than that. So would love to know more about you.
Yeah. So I'm John Gotts, and my podcast is Digital Gold Talk, and we started broadcasting it really actively about 6 or 8 weeks ago, and we have a message about fair value in different coins, L1 specifically, but we think after talking to Charles Hoskinson that it could be for memes also. But it's hit home so hard that we're doing literally millions of views every week, and this is not just of the videos but of anything that we post now. And it seems that if we do a podcast on a coin and tell what its fair value is the first time, it just runs, you know. And we saw it with ZEC. They went from 45 to about 750, and Dash went from about 18 to about 150 in a matter of weeks. And, you know, ICP went from 375 to 10, and, you know, Bells went from 9 cents to 14.5 cents. And, you know,
I don't even know Bells, man.
They just tend to run, and I think we'll see a run in XMR because what happened with Zcash, for instance, there were like 7,500 people that showed up nearly live. It was about 5,000 live, and the rest came in the next 24. But then they shared
where when we say show up, where is on X, or where are you guys primarily getting your followers?
Exclusively
okay.
X. Yeah.
And it's the digital gold.
We don't do any promotions, right? There are no promotions ever, never ever, and there are never ever, and there's no there are no robots or fake accounts. And so if you look, I only have like 2,900. I think I just rolled 2,900 now. But
that's what I'm saying. So you're getting
engaging.
Okay, yeah, because I only see like 2,000 followers, but you're saying you're getting a lot of views.
You know, when we looked at Multiverse X, I think we got 24,500 live views on that video, and I think that when we've done Gigabyte twice now, they each time get like 17,500 live views. Typically Dash is going to pull about 5,000 live views. That will pull anywhere from 4,000 to 7,800 or 8,000 live views. Although he pulled one with 29,000 the other day with Shielded Mark, and I don't really know how that happened. It was like somebody hit it and spread the word, and then it hit, and then it was over, and it was weird. And so I don't really count it because it seems an anomaly. But typically 2,000 live. This is a non-scheduled show, so I have no idea what will show up to this. But if I just go in by myself for an hour, it's about 1,000, you know. And that's because the message that we're giving is about what is fair value for coins. And if people continue on a track of FOMO and FUD, where Bitcoin go up, we all go up. Bitcoin go down, we go down harder. You know, if we continue that mess, then all BlackRock has to do is control that one coin and its ETF, and it controls the entire market, right? And that's very dangerous.
All right. Well, tell me a little bit more about yourself, though. Like, you know, how'd you get in? How'd you get? You seem like a very interesting guy. Yeah, I like the American flag back there, so I assume you're a patriot. I've heard you say some things about farming, like you're farming during that. You seem like
I'm
a
a
pretty.
conservative, brother.
All right.
I'll show you. You guys, anybody that's curious at home, I am a
Nice.
Republican. I am a conservative. I'm more a libertarian, I guess, nowadays. But yeah,
I ran for Congress here in New York as
nice.
a libertarian Republican myself.
Good for you. Yeah,
So
more
we
people need that.
are we are brothers here. So yeah, tell me more. Like, where you doing this farming? What's going on with
Okay,
that?
so
Is that
political background. I managed the campaigns of about 150 House and Senate members, and we ran over 300, just over 350 elections and re-elections in 2010 through 14, and I won 97% of all the races that we managed and that I managed, and that I would have had 100%, but not everybody did exactly what I said. And some lost because they didn't do what I said, but they were still my customers, and I should have kicked them in the head a little harder, maybe. But we used social media before anybody else was.
Hmm.
They were still using radio, television, and newspaper and direct mail. And we instead went right for the heart and Facebook and LinkedIn and WordPress and Tumblr and Twitter and Blogspot and everything. And so they'd take over the top 10 results of their Google search at the time. Plus, then they would be taught how to go in and actually communicate with people like humans instead of trying to blast them and say, I love you, please vote for me 3 months of the year. Actually, just stay in touch with them and take them onto the Senate or House floor and take photos. And so I was on the House and Senate floor with all these guys and we'd showing them how to take photos and post it. And, once they started connecting with their constituents, you can't stop them. You can't beat them. You just can't. And so that was what I was doing. Now, Libertarian Republican, I don't know running on other than Democrat or Republican ticket if you ever will have much of a chance, unfortunately, because that's just how the country's set up. But we beat a 32-year incumbent Democrat in Mississippi with a first-time Republican, Melanie Sojourner, in 2013. And so it's definitely
Oh
possible
wow,
to
nice.
unseat people in a blue district.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure you heard of George Santos, right? You
Of course. Is that
probably.
your district?
No, that's the actually that is my hometown district, but I ran in the neighboring district. This is on Long Island in Nassau County.
Oh, right on.
And I ran against Kathleen Rice, who was a 6-year incumbent at the time.
Yeah,
This was in 2020 when
yeah, yeah.
things. It was a very, as you know, very interesting times.
Then in that time, it's possible you couldn't have won even if you won. Let's just put it that way.
Oh,
Because you had
yes,
Dominion and
yes.
you had Smartmatic. And Dominion and
Well,
Smartmatic,
let me
both.
tell you, Matt. I would love to hear that because I've witnessed some
Mike
weird
Lindell
things
is a
first.
friend of mine,
Yeah.
actually. And Mike Lindell is getting trouble right now. Here's me and Mike right here, right?
Mm-hmm.
So Mike Lindell is getting railroaded right now in Minnesota because they didn't even hear his side of the case and said he's guilty to Dominion or Smartmatic or that crap is still happening. And Tina Peters is still in prison. So I don't know, man.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, I did better than anybody expected, but didn't win. Didn't dethrone her. She was a 6-year incumbent. It had been a
Well, that's
Demo.
tough.
It's
And
my
and once they have the money, how much money did you have to run against her? Because she had at least 5 million in PAC money.
Yeah. I put about 50K into the whole
How
campaign, and
much
we
did
did
she
it. We
have?
did extraordinary well. Yeah, it was millions of dollars. It
Of
was
course.
she was very well funded. Obviously, and then the district itself had I don't know. It's like 100,000 more Democrats than Republicans. I don't remember what the numbers are, but way more
Yeah,
Dems than
yeah,
Republicans.
yeah. It's a dirty
But it was
game.
it was an interesting, and so the reason I did it at the time, believe it or not, was for Monero. Was for
Well, why?
Monero.
How's that? How does that fit together?
Well, because I saw where the puck was headed in terms of governments looking to turn against cryptocurrencies, particularly privacy coins.
Okay.
And 2020, by that time, you had already heard a lot of conversation on the floors of Congress with regards to cryptocurrency. It was always discussion about Bitcoin, obviously. And whenever it was really litigated on the floor of Congress and it was questioned, you know, ultimately what would happen is there'd be questions. All right, well, our biggest concern is can't this be used for funding terrorism or evading taxes or whatever it may be? And the ultimate answer would always be, well, don't worry, actually, Bitcoin is completely traceable. So if anything, it will help us fight crime. And so my concern was, all right, we're seeing progress with the U.S. essentially adopting and embracing Bitcoin, but I'm not hearing anybody make the free speech arguments. I'm not hearing anybody make we have the right to transact peer to peer with untraceable digital cash. Not hearing anybody make those true digital cash arguments on the floor of Congress, which, in my opinion, I think those ideals perfectly aligned with what this country was founded upon.
100%.
And so I was racing to be that guy because
Yeah.
nobody was making that argument. And even to this day, nobody really is yet. I mean, we have Massey, but I haven't heard him making the digital cash argument. Maybe now with Zcash pumping and they having the ears of the legislators, maybe things will change, but have yet to really hear it.
Yeah, but understand also that Zcash was wildly undervalued at its price of 45, right? So at that point, its true fair value is right around 2,985. Let's just call it 3 grand. And so if I say, 3,000 divided by 45, they were almost 67 times undervalued, right? But right now, they're pumping again today. Let me just take a look here. They're pumping. They're at 603 right now, heading greener as the market gets redder. It's a safe harbor coin like Monero and like Dash. Dash is pumping. Of course it is, because it's also a safe harbor coin. But now if you take the price of 600 divided by, all right, sorry, 2,900. Oh no, and they're 3,900. Sorry. Let me take it back. 3,900. I don't have their numbers in front of me. We'll call it 3,900 divided by 45. They were 87 times undervalued. Okay. But 3,900 divided by 600, now they're 6.5 times undervalued. Well, right now, Monero is worth about $3,000. I think I'm actually running numbers in the background on you guys right now. And what's your current price?
I think we're at like 400 around that.
Let me just check to be sure, since we're doing real comparisons here. XMR. There we go. 394.74. So call it 400 divided by 400. You guys are 7.5 times undervalued. So you see, they were just catching up to you guys. Now you're both about 7-8 times undervalued.
Right. Yeah, no, I mean, listen, obviously I'm a Monero guy, and we could get into all the particulars as to why and Monero versus Zcash and all that stuff. But yeah, I agree with you. I mean, I wish I would have taken it a little bit more seriously in terms of how undervalued they were, because I do think they were undervalued. Like I'm a Monero maxi, right? I don't really focus on other cryptos too much, or really a digital cash maxi. I'm most interested in the crypto that could do untraceable digital cash on chain, cheap transactions, private by default. That's like the thing. So if there's other cryptos doing that, I'm interested. If they're actually getting traction and they have really good tech, and Zcash certainly has, amazing tech, right? They were, nobody can deny that. I do think they have some issues, right? I do think there's things to criticize them for, and I think there's certainly advantages that Monero has. Obviously, we know some of the obvious disadvantages in terms of tech, but there's, I think, a lot of other advantages that Monero has. And so, yeah, I mean, I'm not surprised by the Zcash pump, and as a Monero guy, I think it's good for the sector. People are noticing privacy coins. Obviously, I wish it was Monero that would be out there on the front lines, considering we've always been the ones on the front lines, and like finally now the spotlight is on us, and it's like this new guy like kicked Monero to the side. It's like, hey, we're the cypherpunks. We're like, what? We've been the ones
they kicked it to the side. See, the way I look at it is they've got a totally different product than you guys, right? Yours is for someone that just wants privacy all the time by default. And yours is for the people that want something that's already been developed and is in commerce, already has decentralized applications, already is actually being used as digital private money, as it should be, as God intended, right? But when you look at the number of applications that are on Zach right now, Zcash, there really aren't very many. And I was going over this with Shielded Mark the other day that there just aren't any. And so on the one hand, it's a negative for Zcash because, as if you were going toe to toe with Monero, but you don't need to. There's such a huge space here You don't have to be battle enemies. You can be friends. You can both be
Yeah,
warriors. You can be friends that are warriors, right? But here's the
I,
thing: there'll be a
I'm
certain
totally
group
with
that
you on that.
wants
By the way.
XMR, but
Mhm,
Zcash, there's a huge opportunity for people to go and build applications, just
mhm.
like on Monero. It's just right here. It's like a complete blue ocean. There's nothing there. There's no competing products. Anybody that goes there gets to hit their millions of users, and that's a beautiful thing. On the other hand, Monero right now, you guys have the most solid, most proven, most privacy. Uh, it's by default. I mean, you can tell me all about Monero. I love Monero. I didn't have it listed right away. Simply, well, I did first. It's in my book actually, but I didn't put it out because I was like, nobody there's going to talk to me. And if I can't talk to the core team, then I can't work with the core team. Then we can't invest in the core team. And if I can't invest in the core team, then I only have so many hours in the day, and I have to stick with the people that we're working with. You know.
That's an insight, right? Because that is a major difference between Monero and Zcash. Zcash does have these centralized entities that are associated with them. You know, these groups of people that essentially helped launch the project, VCs and whatnot. They have the founders reward. They have the dev tax.
What do you guys have?
Um, Monero's like Bitcoin, right? So there was no company associated with it from its creation. It's just truly open source, and then you have people that collaborate. Mostly, a lot of them anonymous online. Some of them not. Some of the devs aren't anonymous. They come participate at Monerotopia. Some of the most impactful devs, but there's others that have been anonymous from day one. A lot of others that have recently started contributing that are anonymous, and the devs get together, they collaborate, they decide what to work on, and then they get funded from what's called the Monero CCS, which is basically it's like a Kickstarter. It's just a fundraiser, right? So we're like, a dev will propose, I'm gonna
I
develop
actually
full.
love that. I think that's great. In fact, I was thinking
Yeah.
just the other day, Douglas, that we really are at a place where we could kickstart projects. Why wouldn't we?
Mm.
Like
Hmm.
I did at the time there were only 80 that had done a million, but like at Kickstarter, only 80 out of 80,000 projects that had been funded had done $1 million,
Mm.
and we had done like 12%. So like I'm totally into Indiegogo and Kickstarter.
Yeah, I
And
mean, this is
yeah,
this is Monero. It's a Monero based fundraiser, right? Like, hey, I'm looking for 200 XMR, and I'll spend the next 2 years developing this feature of Monero. And if it everybody gets anybody that's serious that has a decent proposal, they get funded, and it's pretty amazing because it's the whole community chipping in, and
that
it's
was
not
beautiful.
it's not VC money that's sitting there that were early holders of Monero, or that receive some founders reward. It's just anybody that was participating in Monero. Obviously, you have whales in Monero, and those people
Yeah.
participate more. But yeah, it is pretty nice. I mean, there's negatives to it, right? So like these, basically what you brought up, like who do I contact? How do I work with the Monero company, right? There is none, and there's also one of the other major detriments I would say is like it's not as consistent, right, for the developers. In Zcash, the devs have essentially consistent funding that they can rely on. There's a pool of money there sitting there. In Monero, it's like it's like you got to go and get a grant or something every time you want to go do work. So it creates extra work for the devs. It's not as reliable. So that's definitely hurts Monero a little bit in some ways, arguably.
We've got
But
an
I think
answer for that. We've got
overall,
an
I
answer
think
for
it
that.
Oh yeah, would love to hear that. Overall, I do think that's one of the fundamental differences between the two, because it does
Well, what are we
ultimately,
doing here tonight?
arguably, make
Are we comparing?
Monero.
What are we doing here tonight, Douglas? Because I don't want to sit here and
Mm,
compare Monero, which is a much better coin than Zcash in many ways, as Zcash is a much better coin than Monero in other ways that don't compete. And so I'd rather dig into Monero tonight rather than even talk about Zach.
oh yes, yeah, whatever you
And
want, man.
in
I'll
campaigns,
go.
they say never mention the opponent by name. You're only advertising for them. So
Well,
let's not
like you
do that.
said, I mean, I see it as a healthy battle, right? Because it's gonna help. It's gonna help both projects. Like the Monerotopia conference that we have, I try to get other privacy coins involved. It's not Monero only. I try to keep things as open as possible so that we do stay ahead. So I'm definitely not a maxi in that way. I can't. I was a Bitcoin maxi
Oh
back
no,
in the
you can be
day.
a maxi, bro. You can
Yeah.
be a maxi. I'm just saying, like, I come from this position of love where I really love all of these coins, and I really love their scientists and their developers being those scientists. And I really love those that challenge me and work with me and help me understand more. And I
Mm-hmm.
really love those that are building new utility into their coins, and I love their coins. And they're all so different, ICP to Near to Thorchain to, I mean, they're all so different, but they have these little things that make them beautiful. And so I want to focus on what makes Monero beautiful tonight. What would you say makes Monero beautiful?
That it's built to be unstoppable.
Tell me about that.
Yes. So, I mean, you want me to go through all the reasons, things like that? Sure.
Yeah.
So, Monero, Monero isn't just digital cash, untraceable digital cash. It's unstoppable digital cash. And so there's features that Monero has that I would say really no other crypto has. One is it's ASIC resistant, right? So Monero is primarily mined, or really only mined, by CPUs. The CPU is the ASIC of Monero. There might be other copycats now, like trying to do this, but Monero was really kind of the first to work on that and invent the essentially proof of work that's required for that to be the case. It was one of the perhaps more inventive steps that Monero has ever taken, is basically figuring out how to be only CPU mineable. And what that basically does is that allows it to be more distributed, right? Organically. So anybody, anywhere with access to a computer, which is all of us, right?
All of us.
You could be in freaking, I don't know, Palestine. You could be anywhere, right? And as long as you have a phone, a smartphone, and you have access to power and internet, maybe Palestine isn't the best. It was probably the worst example possible. But
say that. I'm just like,
you could be in North Korea. Another arguably bad example, but it's true, right? The idea is you could be anywhere.
That work. I don't know. I don't think there are a lot of hopping coffee bars with Wi-Fi.
No, anywhere, but I'm anywhere where a human has a CPU and connection to the internet, they could arguably mine, right, without permission. And that's vastly different than what Bitcoin has become, which is mineable only by ASICs, which isn't people with CPUs. It's large at this point, very large companies, only a handful of them, that basically control the entire mining network of Bitcoin, from the production of the ASICs themselves to the actual mining. And what makes that arguably less unstoppable than Monero is that these large companies can be approached, and they will be approached, and they are being approached by governments, right? Governments asking them, hey, look, you're burning too much energy, or hey, we're worried about these transactions that are happening on the Bitcoin blockchain. We want, we're going to ask these miners to not validate, transactions that involve certain addresses. So this is something that makes Bitcoin arguably more co-optable and less unstoppable, because governments can get involved, corporations get involved and influence them. So that's I would say one of the major things that Monero has going in terms of being more unstoppable. Another thing would be Monero's dynamic block size. So that's a major difference, right? So right now we're seeing on Twitter, we're talking about Zcash, right? We're talking about privacy coins, and everybody isn't even really looking at Monero's architecture beyond its privacy components. And these things might actually be even more, arguably as interesting as its privacy. So the dynamic blocks, Bitcoin has a fixed block size, as I'm sure you're aware, right? And it caused a lot of commotion in, what was it? I guess that was like 2017, right? 2016, when we saw the block size wars and there were the forks. Monero doesn't have that. Monero will never have the block size wars. It scales dynamically with usage. As more, people are putting transactions into the blocks dynamically scale and get larger and smaller based on usage. And that effectively means that as more people use Monero on chain, actually transaction fees go down. So it gets cheaper to use Monero, as opposed to Bitcoin, as we've seen at times. Transaction fees go up with demand, right? And basically people compete to get into a block, and it causes fees to go up. Not the case in Monero. So another major difference is its dynamic block size, which again I would say arguably makes it even more unstoppable, right? Because Bitcoin, because of its fixed block size, it allowed for basically the development of the Litecoin network, right? Which really isn't Bitcoin at the end of the day. It's a second layer that's being built on top, that is controlled by by certain entities. So its fixed block size has led to it potentially to be more co-optable, right? Because of the fact that it has this problem with block size and it's not able to scale. Another thing is Monero's tail emission. So are you familiar with Monero's tail emission?
I'm not.
All right. So Bitcoin, as everybody knows, there's only 21 million, right? It's like Pokemon, right? It's great marketing. Got to catch them all. Only 21 million, completely limited, very easy for people to understand. Monero does not have a 21 million cap. It doesn't have a cap. It has a nominal cap of about 18.6 million coins. It's already reached that nominal cap, by the way. And then thereafter, it has what's called a tail emission, which basically is just a constant emission of Monero with every block, every 2 minutes. And so it is disinflationary over time. Its inflation trends to zero, right? Because basically you have a steady flow of Monero being emitted, whatever it is. I think it's 0.6 XMR every 2 minutes.
0.6.
Yeah, I could be wrong on that number, actually.
That's okay.
Yeah, so Monero, doesn't have this cap, and when people who don't really understand crypto just can understand the concept of scarcity, they go, "Oh my God, it's infinite supply," which is a completely wrong way of looking at it, kind of a complete misunderstanding, and not realizing also what the positive benefits of having the tail emission are. The tail emission allows Monero to be secured in perpetuity without question, right? Because there's always going to be essentially an incentive for miners to mine using proof of work.
Exactly. And Bitcoin's falling into this problem big time, Douglas.
Yes.
Because there aren't large transactions. Everybody's hodling.
Right.
Therefore, yeah, they're not making enough money. And
Yes.
I heard that they borrowed like $1 billion from BlackRock. This is a rumor that I heard. They
Mhm.
borrowed the miners, big miners. BlackRock said, here, like they do to nation states, here, let us give you money for that infrastructure. Oh, by the way, there was going to be a balloon payment coming up, and then they take all their silver mines and everything else, right? But like IMF, but like what I'm talking about here is, if I'm right, if the rumors are right, rather, $1 billion goes to the miners. They hear Bitcoin's going to 1 million, and there's going to be Bitcoin and transactions everywhere, like the Bitcoin Standard Book says, and they buy into it and they take these loans, and now they can't pay them. And so there was talk about putting out more coins. There was, a lot of people. Peter was even talking. I mean, look, a lot of people were talking. So I'm glad that you guys do have an emission, because you have to have something. If you can't pay the miners, then you lose it. Backing up, if you would, to the CPU. And for those in the audience that are, and a lot of my audience is, over 50, like, let's say, CPU mining is like your computer. Can you explain to them the different types from CPU to GPU to ASICs to literally to the supercomputers that are mining Bitcoin right now, and why CPU in this case matters?
Yes. So, I mean, it's ASICs are application-specific hardware that's built just for the purpose of mining Bitcoin's proof of work algorithm, right? So it's literally hardware that's specifically designed so that you can maximize the amount of mining you can do given the electricity that you're putting into the computer, right? Monero also proof of work, right? But the proof of work algorithm isn't fixed. Bitcoin's is a fixed proof of work algorithm, so you could build a piece of hardware for that. Monero's proof of work changes in real time, so that essentially you can't physically build a piece of hardware, build essentially a computer that's specialized just for mining Monero. There's really no practical way to do it. In fact, the best thing that can mine it, if you're trying to build something that can mine Monero in the most efficient way, you're essentially building a general CPU.
Which is to say a general computer, like
Right, the
a
things
laptop
the
or a
things that
desktop.
are
But
in
in
our
this case, probably a
smartphones or
cloud.
desktop. Yeah,
Right.
smartphones, desktop, any
You
a
can use
general
smartphones. Smartphones can mine Monero.
Sure, sure. Yeah. I mean, you're not going to get a lot of Monero, even with your home CPU, you're not
No,
going to
no,
get a
that doesn't
lot,
matter.
right?
No, that
But the
doesn't
point
matter.
is
That's not
any
the point.
CPU is fairly competing. Like there's no my
Oh,
CPU isn't better than, I
wow.
mean, unless I have
That's
more
cool. I,
computing power, but I don't have an advantage in terms of
so there's a
the
QT
chipset.
wallet for Android and iPhone, or what is it?
There's a what? What do you
Like,
say?
because it's from Bitcoin Core, right? I mean, from Bitcoin Code came Monero, right? They didn't build it from the ground up. They
No,
hard
it's built from
forked
the
it.
ground up. It's built from the ground up,
What?
Monero. Yep, dude, we
What?
gotta we gotta go all we gotta. There's a lot to talk about with Monero,
Dude,
man.
that is so cool.
Zcash is a fork of Bitcoin, right?
I know, right? But ICP is on their own, Multiverse is on their own, Near is on their own, and Monero is on their own. That is freaking awesome. Tell me more.
Yeah, so Monero was invented essentially. The Satoshi Nakamoto of Monero is Nicholas van Saberhagen. So just like Bitcoin, he released a white paper completely anonymously. But it was, instead of calling the Bitcoin protocol, it was called the Crypto Note protocol.
Crypto node?
And Crypto Note, yeah, you should give it a read. Obviously, it's good to read the Bitcoin white paper and then to read the Crypto Note white paper back to
Yeah,
back,
yeah.
right? They're only like 10 pages each or something, right? Or it's and I'm sure you've read the Bitcoin white paper, but the Crypto Note white paper was essentially written in response to the Bitcoin white paper, with the purpose of fixing Bitcoin's, what they saw as Bitcoin's critical flaws, which essentially is its lack of privacy and on-chain scalability. So Nicholas van Saberhagen released, I think that paper was released in like, I guess it was like 2014, 2013. Monero like kind of came into existence in 2014. It originally launched as some other, people took the Crypto Note white paper and they implemented it, right? And so originally it launched as Monero is what it was originally called, and there was a fork, and there was some ugliness, there was some turmoil, where these is that it? You're at Crypto Note? That looks like it. Yep.
Yep. I'll look at it later.
Yeah, so I mean, it reads like it's telling you what it sees as what's wrong with Bitcoin, and here's what we need to do to fix
Oh my
that.
God, I'm gonna read it tonight. This is
Which
amazing.
was
I love
basically
this.
making Bitcoin untraceable, right? So this idea that it need to be fundamentally private. So yeah, the early days of Monero, right? People are like, "Oh, Zcash has the best lore." Like I don't know why everybody's saying that word, but all of a sudden, by the way, I find that I don't know if you noticed, but like that's a trending thing right now. The
No, I
lore,
don't
the
pay any
lore.
attention to it. I think it's
Okay,
bullshit.
okay.
If it wasn't for Hal Finney's proof of work, and or his reusable proof of work rather, if it wasn't for all of these things from Hashcash to B Money to, there was just so many things. Like Bitcoin didn't just pop out of nowhere. I mean, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you
Sean
know?
tipped.
Do you know if you spell? Well, okay. So if Satoshi Nakamoto, if you said it in Japanese, you can look this up. I could be wrong. It would be pronounced Nakamoto Satoshi, and
Central Intelligence Agency.
yeah, middle wisdom. It means middle wisdom
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah,
Japanese.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Middle wisdom,
Yeah.
central intelligence. Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
And Nick
yes, yes.
Szabo wrote Bit Gold, and it described it
Yes.
as a one pager, right? And
Yes.
he
Yes.
literally was teaching at first federally funded college, university rather, in DC, in Maryland, wherever it is, right there. But it's George Washington University, and he's teaching cryptography, and he's literally a 7-minute drive, because it's like a mile, but it's like 7-minute drive from the university to the headquarters, the front door of the George H.W. Bush CIA agency. Like, so, like,
Wait, who? Nick Szabo or
Nick
no?
Szabo,
Who?
yeah.
Oh yeah. You know, he likes Monero. He talks about
Well, he
Monero.
should.
I
I
mean,
think he likes them all because he's not crazy,
he's
you know? He's not
yeah, he's
nasty.
tweeted about it from the early days.
Yeah.
Sean tipped 0.001 XMR. No such things as tainted Monero. Private by default means no worries for anyone accepting it. This is XMR chat, by the way, right? So this person literally just sent me peer-to-peer directly 0.001 XMR as they made this super chat, which is really cool. Like it runs on the Monero network. Like there was no fees taken or anything.
Oh, so people can tip you while you're talking?
Yes.
And
Yeah.
they
I mean,
tip you in
they
order to chat, in order to have their stuff posted?
exactly. Yes.
Oh, interesting.
You could very easily you use StreamYard, so you could very easily do that on your side.
That's interesting.
I could show you after the show. It's just
Yeah, no, no.
xmrchat.com.
I like my audience
Yeah.
to be flies on the wall and not talk. More like Joe Rogan.
Oh, okay.
They get to
Okay.
like check us out and watch us, but I don't really let
Okay.
them engage. Yeah, but you
Okay,
can. This
okay.
is your show. We're on your show.
Yeah, no, I like it, and obviously I see that as a strong, it's a good use case for what
I love
crypto
it.
was
I
meant.
think it's amazing, and I think
You know,
tipping
that
should be on every content creator should get tips. Why not?
exactly.
tip
You know that
when you go literally anywhere.
exactly, and but that's another thing that crypto was meant to be from the early days, right? Which is super cheap
I
to
know.
send on chain.
Do you remember
And-
Steam it? Steam.it?
Yes. I
I
never
heard the
used
first
it,
people
but yeah.
putting out content were getting like $30,000 worth of Steam and tips. It's like what? Insane.
Yeah. No, I wasn't putting out content at that time.
I wish I was.
But yeah, so where were we go? Oh yeah, so ASICs. We talked about the ASICs versus Monero.
So
Which
yeah,
has
essentially what I want to just would tell the audience of mine that's watching at home is that Bitcoin uses literally like you can't even really have a chance unless you're using a really powerful, really expensive computer. It's using a lot of energy and requires a lot of
Mhm.
maintenance and effort. And what we're hearing here is that with Monero, you could literally plug in and this is not code from Bitcoin like we've been used to. This is the internet computer. This is the Near. This is the Multiverse X. I didn't know I was adding Monero to that list. That's very freaking cool. They built it from the ground up. And
Yeah,
yeah, and it
Monero's
runs CPUs, and yet somehow it's powerful enough that it can't get 51% attacked or anything like that, right? How does that work?
that's a good. Did you know that there was a scare a couple of months ago?
Yeah, I
Monero
didn't think
is
much of it. I watched it. I
no.
wasn't worried. Yeah.
Yeah,
Nobody
yeah.
else seemed
So
to be really worried, you know.
it's just another interesting point to note too. Monero is the most attacked crypto of any in
Oh,
all
really?
different ways, right? Oh yeah, I mean, been delisted from essentially every exchange,
Oh,
right?
attacked like that. Right.
Yeah, except Kraken.
Good for
Then we
Kraken.
yes, and then obviously we recently saw this 50 attempted 51% attack on Monero. Like why Monero? Why was Monero chosen for that? That was pretty odd.
And they bought
Um,
they essentially bribed the miners, right?
yes,
Can you
exactly.
explain to everybody exactly how that happened? Because I don't really understand it. I didn't pay much attention. I was kind of busy.
Yeah, it was a kind of a brilliant way of mounting an attack. So basically, it was Cubic. Cubic is selling itself as some AI crypto thing, right?
Isn't it a
You
mining pool or something like that?
yeah, well, yes. So,
Okay.
but they're selling themselves as a cryptocurrency that is essentially running like AI, right? So like as in addition you're not only mining cryptocurrency, but you're also powering an AI, right? Is what their claim is, right? But
Mm.
all that's kind of bullshit. Nobody really saw the AI part. But at the end of the day, what they're doing is they have it's like a mining pool, right? So what they did was they said, hey, listen, you guys are all mining Monero. There's this new thing called Cubic, and if you come mine over here in this pool, you'll get the Monero that you normally get, plus you'll get Cubic. But we're going to pay you in Cubic. We'll pay you out in Cubic, but it's going to equate to how much Monero you would have got if you're mining on your own, plus Cubic coin. So people are like, all right. So they managed to pull people in because they're like, all right, I'm mining anyway. I might as well get
Okay.
that plus. And then so basically they effectively were able to, pump the price of cubic as this was going on. And they were able to draw in more and more miners because it was like, all right, I might as well mine this, in this pool if I'm going to get more money. But will they really get more money? Right? Is the price is the thing, because once you get paid in cubic coin, now you have to go like sell cubic coin and turn it into something valuable, right, before it dumps and all this. So it was an effective attack in terms of being able to pull miners into a pool. They were not ever able to officially 51% attack, but they did disrupt the network. They disrupted the network. They basically slowed down transactions, and they made it. They caused congestion. You could kind of think of it in the Monero network, where we had you had to wait to send. There was no 51% double spend. But it did show weaknesses. Monero's very cognizant of that. Like, Monero doesn't put its head in the sand. It's not one of these projects who's like sees everything as good, right? It's like, oh, okay. It's like we got something's broken. We got to fix it. Monero obviously fundamentally didn't break. Proof of work worked as intended. They ultimately weren't able to 51% attack. The majority of the network that was mining believed in Monero and didn't want to participate in the scam thing, and so Monero won. But now there's research being done on implementing some changes, learning from some other cryptos that are doing some interesting things in this area in proof of work, and basically trying to update our proof of work so that it wouldn't be susceptible to this attack. And there's already basically proposals, and now they just need to be implemented. So it did successfully get around that. I just want to, I guess get back to the main point too, right? About the unstoppable nature. Right? So we covered the dynamic block size, we covered the tail emission, ASIC resistance, and then obviously the fact that it's private by default, right? That's the thing that everybody already knows about Monero. But that also arguably makes it more unstoppable as well, right? Because if the powers that be, if governments, corporations can't view into the blockchain, can't see who's sending what to who, it makes them less able to essentially co-opt things. Because we're seeing the negative effects of a transparent blockchain if it's trying to act as money. And if the governments can peer into your transactions, then they could, like we're saying, potentially approach these large mining networks and saying, all right, we need to censor these transactions. And now, what do you have? It's no longer functioning as unstoppable digital cash, right? So
right.
I'd say those are the primary things, and then can go into details of the tech of all the of each, particularly like its privacy, right? That's usually the thing people are most interested in. I do think it's good to compare and contrast with Zcash, because I do see them as competitors. I see them as competing for winning the untraceable digital cash space.
I know, but Dash is doing it, and Litecoin's trying to do it with MWeb, and everybody's talking about adding privacy now, and because it's an open source.
Yeah, but adding privacy is one thing, right? Like Bitcoin has added privacy, but I'm talking about being untraceable. You can't see sender, you can't see receiver, you can't see amount, and that's for every transaction, right? So that's Zcash is competing in terms. I shouldn't even say Zcash is competing. Shielded Zcash is competing with Monero, right? Because there's traceable Zcash and there's shielded Zcash. Which is an interesting thing to think about too, right? Because
but again, that you're literally selling their product for them right now, rather than selling Monero with me tonight. Just so you know.
No,
you actually are. You're literally.
You're not letting me get into the criticism.
No, but I'm just telling you, you don't know the first rule of campaigning. Then, when you're campaigning, you literally never mention your opponent's name ever. Well,
I'm not campaigning.
Just tell everybody why they should vote for you.
I'm not. See, this is the difference between me and I'm not campaigning, man. I'm a guy who's out here talking about technology. Right?
I know,
but again, I'm not selling a thing. I'm not selling a thing.
I can't be. I can't be on an interview if they're bashing a coin I invest in. and I have a fund that would invest in Monero potentially. But if Monero is going to bash the other coins that I'm investing in, I can't even work with them, right? So I
Okay, yeah,
want
no,
to
I'm
make
not, I'm
sure
not,
you're
but
very,
I'm
very
not.
clear and understanding
Okay.
that I can only work with coins that are cool with other coins, and don't ever contrast them and
Well, listen, man,
put
I
them
can't
down or
promise you
anything like
that
that, because
coin.
then you're
You know,
putting down
I'm
coins in my
one
portfolio,
guy.
right?
Let's first of all, I'm Doug Tooman. I'm not Monero, right?
I know, but I'm just saying I
Monero
don't
is
go
a
on podcasts that
decentralized
bash.
network. Okay.
I don't go on podcasts that bash the other coins in my portfolio, and so I don't want you to bash Zcash because I love those guys, and I'm going to
Well,
have them on my show, and I don't
yeah.
want them to start bashing you
Okay.
and
Okay.
Monero,
I
right? Because then,
have I
and by
bashed
the
them?
way, too, there was this big battle going on with Multiverse X and some very big podcasters. I won't even call them by name. I'm not gonna. I hate drama. I don't do drama. And it went on for 6 weeks and escalated to the point of death threats and kneecaps being broken and just crazy shit being threatened to these beautiful people. And finally, I just said, okay, guys, come on, let's do a podcast. And we all did a podcast. I got everybody on there, all the players, almost all the players, everybody. I got them on. I was like, tell me, when did you meet this guy? What did you like most about this guy? What do you still like
Hmm.
most about this guy? Okay, you, what do you like most about him? And I made everybody tell what they liked most about each other. And I said, okay, let's just stop, please. Okay, can we
Yeah.
just stop? And they're like, yeah, but he, and I'm like, no, 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 no. I mean, like, delete all your shit. Like,
Yeah.
delete all those posts. Just delete them and go Scooby Doo and let's move forward.
I don't
And then,
participate in that.
and we
If you
did,
see my
and we did,
if you see
and we
my
did.
ex, like I don't
Okay, so
participate
I
in
want
the
to learn
fun
all
war.
about
Yeah.
Monero,
Yeah.
and I want to tell
Yeah.
you in the next hour how we want to work with Monero. I think
Okay.
Monero is a beautiful product, and I like you too very much, Douglas, and you're incredibly well versed in Monero. And I have learned so much more about Monero that I love tonight because of you than I like in my whole life. Like I've learned more about Monero tonight than I have in my whole life. I thought they were a Bitcoin fork. I had no idea. I didn't know they were just CPU mined. I
Hmm.
didn't know that. Wow, that's so cool. And that it's really not hackable, but it's infinitely scalable because as the network grows and uses it, you got more computers plugging in. I didn't know that it could go on a mobile phone. What? Like, and then I'm like, wait. The QT wallet doesn't go on a mobile phone. And you're like, wait, John, it's not Bitcoin. And I'm like, what? Mind blown, right? And so, like, let's go positive the whole route if that's cool with you, because I love this. I love
Yes,
Monero.
and I feel like I've been positive though, but I don't know.
Oh,
I guess
I know,
I don't
but
know. I don't know if this.
let's not even talk about
Yeah,
it anymore.
yeah.
All right,
So
let's just not
what
even talk
else
about
you
it.
want? What else you want me to say, man? Because I could talk about I do talk
I
about
want to
Monero
hear
every day,
about
all day.
XMR Bazaar, man. And I want to hear
Okay.
about all these really, really cool apps. I want to know why so many transactions and value is done on Monero. And because you're off all
Mm.
the exchanges, I have a hunch that because actual metrics like adoption, transaction value, developer ecosystem, and network power score, what it would take to 51% attack you, it's so hard to understand it because almost all of it out there is being waged, or I mean, sorry, weighed by centralized exchange transactions that are speculative, not for real use. And so I'm really starting to love what I hear about Monero because it sounds like, unlike almost any other coin, because they haven't allowed you on exchanges, I'm going to be looking at you guys on real applications and I'm going to know your real numbers. And you may be the only coin that is in the entire portfolio of 15 coins where I think I'm going to know your real numbers. And that to me is like heaven. That is manna from heaven.
Yeah, I mean that's a major difference between Monero and any other crypto is
Any
that it
other crypto, any
has
other crypto.
essentially been delisted from most exchanges.
I think that's great.
And then
It
you got to
forced you guys to
wonder
be real money.
exactly, and you got to wonder why Monero is the target, and it is the reason it's the target is because it functions, it works as untraceable digital cash, and because it functions so well for those purposes, exchanges, some of them are wary to work with it because they don't want to deal with the regulators, whatever it may be. Basically, it threatens the powers that be, which, in my opinion, is what crypto's all about. That's why I'm passionate about it. That's why I do this. It's not to buy a Lambo. It's to disrupt decentralized systems, and it's essentially more than anything else. It's to preserve our liberty in the digital age.
Amen.
Given everything that's going on, right, the trajectory we are on, digital IDs, AI, mass surveillance, tracing everybody's transactions, knowing all the data about everybody, people's communications, we are going to need a way to digitally, uh, communicate value digitally, just like we were able to do with cash, because cash is free speech. It allows people to come together freely, participate in commerce, or to fund certain things without governments or corporations affecting it in any way. And so, with the elimination of cash, physical cash, and with everybody moving over to digital, I mean, we're basically already here. We're going to need a cash replacement, so people can continue to use cash in the future. And if we don't have that, I mean, I know it may sound extreme. I don't know, how. You probably do see things the same way as me,
I bet I do.
but if we don't have a tool like that, we will eventually lose our humanity, right? We will no longer be individuals. The governments will be able to manipulate society at will, manipulate humanity at will, and not allow us to participate in it as autonomous individuals, right?
No, look at the Canadian truckers and tell me
Yes, exactly. Which that was a big Monero moment. I
that.
don't know if you're
No, I didn't
if
know that, but it
yeah.
would make sense.
Yeah, so Canadian truckers, during that uprising, obviously, right? So their bank accounts were getting shut down. Their like GoFundMe's were getting shut down, things like that. And so what did they do? They moved over to and started using Bitcoin.
Okay,
But its traceability led
but it's
to
Trace.
everything we were talking about, right? It led to them being able to essentially, censor what they were doing, and find them and see that they had this Bitcoin, and the lack of privacy didn't allow it to function as unstoppable money when people needed it the most. And so that was a major big moment for Monero. There was, eyes open to the necessity for something that was private and untraceable. And yeah, it Monero, I got a little, definitely stepped up in terms of people recognizing it at that
I
moment.
think I think that you guys are going to do well over the next week. Bitcoin, I believe in this site, this little what it's doing right now is going to test like 82. Like I would be a buyer between 78 and 82, and Bitcoin's fair value right now is around 108,000. That's the fair value for Bitcoin today. I haven't run numbers on it since June, but that's approximately probably. It hasn't grown. It doesn't grow very fast, but Monero, it's just got this slow little hump. But like I said, Zcash is up now 25% on the day, but Zcash also is way undervalued compared to you guys because and don't look at price. Like that's what I was going to do. Monero's price today, right now, I don't think of it as the price. I look at it as market cap, 7.37 billion. And according to me, right now, I think the fair value as of let's see, what are we looking here? As of September, which is the end of Q3, which we've now finished the calculations for here. My guess, and you tell me, I figure you guys have, as far as total people that touch Monero in one way or another as an owner, or like a trader rather, or they use it for real money, whether it's in a non-zero balance wallet, we get rid of duplicates, such with that. I could be wrong, but I'm guessing you guys have about 2.3, 2.2, 2.3 million total coin holders globally. And you could tell me transactions in that because you guys should be so precise. I'm guessing you do about 250 million transactions a year, and that's taking out wash trades and everything else and bad exchanges and everything else. And I'm guessing that you do, this is crazy. I'm guessing that you do about 5.5 billion or about 60 billion a year, which is really extraordinary and a lot more than Zcash. So don't compare them, but like so when we look at market cap for them versus market cap for you, price doesn't matter. Yeah, their price is 3,900. Your price is 2,950 approximately, call it 3 grand. Actually, fair
Where are
price.
you coming up with the fair with what you're calling fair price? What are you
Yeah,
using to estimate that?
and these are averages, right? But about 29.8745 or about 55.3. So right now, and I'll teach you all of this. If you guys go to at Digital Gold Talk on X and you just click on the pin post about 55, 60,000 people have. Just click on that and you can follow right along with me and I'll tell you why. How about that? That'd be the
Okay.
cleanest, easiest way. Okay.
Okay.
So, all right. So
I mean, you want to
I'm
give
going,
a just for my own understanding, where are you
and by
coming
the
up
way,
with the number?
as we're talking, Monero is going higher, by the way. I'm very happy to
Okay.
see that. If you look at the time that we started our podcast to now, it is going higher, and I'm happy about that. That's great. I'm always happy when coins go up when we're talking about them. Now, not very many people are seeing this. Imagine if 7,800 people see what I'm about to tell you. Okay, so go to Digital Gold Talk, and once you're there at the top, go ahead and click on that formula. Now, I'm going to tell you this is the Digital Gold Standard benchmark, and what it means is that right now we're in a really, really precarious position because Bitcoin, with the gaslighting of the mainstream media, has been able to take in almost all of the baby boomer and Gen Xer money. They have all the money. I call them boom Xers. They've got all the money. And those that are coming into crypto that have a lot of money and are going through their brokers are being told to buy Bitcoin and that everything else is a shit coin and that there's only one coin. And it's just not true. And so but that's what happened, and especially so in December of 24 when we saw about $100 billion come into Bitcoin at a value of an average value of 1.98 trillion dollars, or about 100 grand a coin on 19.873 million coins. And so you've got this extraordinary value. Well, Douglas, if I was going to sell you this pen and I told you this pen was worth $100,000, would you believe me?
No. I
No.
mean, I don't know. I
Well,
got to
no,
inspect it.
and you
Is it
shouldn't,
made of
and you
gold? I
shouldn't.
don't know. Yeah.
No, and you shouldn't, no matter what it's made of. Okay, but well, maybe if it was a diamond, but or something, right? But
All right.
if it's
Yeah. Yeah.
gold,
Yeah.
it's not worth 100 grand,
No,
right?
definitely not.
But right. So, okay, what if I told you that I sold $100 billion worth of these, a tenth of $1 trillion worth of these in 1 month for 100 grand a piece? You'd start to question your sanity, right? Like you'd wonder why. Your next question would be like, how, why, what's it made of, right? Okay. $100 billion came into something called Bitcoin. And because of gaslighting, the rest of crypto didn't get that money. It all just went to one coin, Bitcoin. So we say, okay, Thoreau says, build your dreams in the heavens, but let's put a foundation under them. So let's put a foundation under it. If you think about it, adoption is key. You have to have utility, and that drives adoption. We think adoption is 70% of the value because literally you have nothing if you don't have users. And we give it 70% of the value, and we think there are about 80 million users at an average, okay, in December of 24. And we think there were transactions of about 6 billion. And we think there were about 13.5 trillion in transaction value. Why am I not looking at transaction size? Because it doesn't matter. Why am I not looking? Because different products have different things. Why am I not looking at, the transactions per second? Because it doesn't matter. Like either you're fast and you're used as money, or you're slow as shit like Bitcoin and you're used as a commodity that's held. And it doesn't matter if I get it in a day or a week because I'm holding it for 10 years. It doesn't matter how much it costs because, so transactions per second and the cost, it doesn't matter. But transactions and transaction value does, because in a thinly traded market, you're going to get attacked. That's going to, if you're a staked coin, ruin your network power score. Okay. But it also shows that the miners can get paid. It shows that people that buy it can get it out of it. And it just shows a true health of the network by seeing those transactions and the values. Network, the developer ecosystem is worth 5%. Each of those were worth 5%. But the developer ecosystem, and these are all linked together. There are 55 core Bitcoin developers in December, and out of 905. And the other were DApp and other ancillary creators. And these are so important because they're building the network, they're making it stronger, they're patching things, but hopefully they're even growing more utility. Unless you're like the Google search engine, even they try to build utility by making it milliseconds faster and different things. Unfortunately, now it's all Marxist results and you can't use it, and now you use Grok instead, but you get it, right? So last one, network power score, that's how much does it cost to 51% attack you? And we figured it was about 21 billion if you could, but you can't. 51% attack Bitcoin. So there's our digital gold standard. There's our benchmark. And now that we've got all of those indicators, we can now weight them accordingly and punch in anybody's numbers as long as we get real numbers. Now, I wrote a book and it's not published yet. I pulled it off the shelf. It was published on Amazon, pulled it back because I learned so much from a bunch of the scientists I worked with for the last 6 weeks. And so we've improved on this. This is still good, but we've made it even better. Like adoption, we should give a higher weighting if it's used for actual money. So Monero is going to crush on that, and a lower weighting if it's used for speculation, right? We should look at the developer ecosystem and perhaps give it more weighting for the core team because that is really critical. But on the other hand, I think there's a lot of weight that should be given to many, many developers creating, because that's what makes Ethereum worth 3.6 trillion, is that they're become a utility with everybody building on top of them. So I haven't figured that one out yet, but the book will be out, guys. But that formula stays. That's the formula. So now, with that in mind, I'm going to go back to the numbers for Monero. Oh, but before I do, understand then that that means Bitcoin doesn't just get to go up for free. Chart go up right, therefore chart always go up right. No, bullshit. That's you're smoking crack, man. Really, like what you got to do is you got to think about Bitcoin as just like any other coin. It's not special. It's old and slow, frankly, and expensive. Okay? It's just well adopted. But that said, what if adoption fell to 40 million because people found about Monero? And it's like the people at Zcash said, and same for Monero then. If you got those coins first and actually had privacy, why would you go get Bitcoin? No. So if these had come a little bit earlier than Bitcoin, you wouldn't even know about Bitcoin because it's not private. This is Swiss bank account in your wallet stuff. That's not. So it's inferior. But for whatever reason, it came first, so it gets to be superior, whatever. No, it doesn't. So if it wants to go to 200,000, in our opinion, it needs to go to 160 million users or some weighting of those other things. And if it's going to go to a million, like Saylor says, sure, but it's got to go to 800 million users. It doesn't just get it for free. And 800 million users is possible because that'd only be 10% of the planet. So that's plausible. But for it to go to 13 million, like Saylor said, well, that's 8 billion plus people, and we don't have enough. Maybe by then, but then every single person on the planet has to be using it. It's not going to happen. More likely, Bitcoin over time might go to 40 million users as other coins are discovered. And as a result, shouldn't it go to 50,000 or less per coin, whatever the market cap, based on the number of coins multiplied correctly? Because after all, it's not even keeping up. It's now dying. And you don't want to try and catch a falling knife. You might get stabbed, right? So, or sliced. So when we look at the numbers for your coin now, and I say that you have 2.2 million users, and you have, I think that was the number. Let me scroll back down. Does this all make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. I mean, I don't know where you're getting the numbers from, like
Oh,
2.2
that's
million
okay.
user. Yeah, yeah.
And I explain it, and I'll explain in the book, and I can answer
Okay.
questions. But you understand that if you were going to go buy a piece of property or a boat or a car and a piece of art or a chair or a wrench or anything, you'd likely, unless you're buying it brand new, just off shelf and don't care about money, you'd compare it. If I tell you that the property on the beach in Naples is worth 20 million, you'd be like, well, how do you know that? I'd say, oh, because the properties next door each sold for 20 million in the last 6 months. Do you get it? And so then you understand everything's comps in the marketplace, literally except crypto.
Hmm.
Okay. Now, did you know what equity markets traded like prior to Benjamin Graham's Intelligent Investor in 49?
No. What?
Exactly like crypto.
Hmm.
There was all FOMO and FUD, 35% swings back and forth, the worst one being 95%. Yeah, it sounds like crypto.
Hmm.
And nobody'd get back in the market. It took 15 years just for them to come up to par where they were before the crash. So Benjamin Graham sits down and writes this book, The Intelligent Investor, and says, we need a benchmark. Stocks have no benchmark. So let's make it the 10-year treasury. We know what tax-free yield that's going to provide. And now let's look at a stock. Let's say it's General Electric. What will the earnings be over 10 years? Would those earnings be more than if I had held the 10-year treasury? But those aren't your earnings. It's not a dividend, but let's just say. And so P divided by E is equal to growth became the rule. And Berkshire Hathaway's model, which made Warren Buffett the richest man at one point in America, this is how Peter Lynch went up on Wall Street beating the street, did his entire thing. His books, Fidelity Magellan, went from tens of millions to billions, and very profitable and very well done because they looked at P ratios. If a stock is $20, it has $1 in earnings. 20 divided by 1, P divided by E is equal to 1, or to 20 rather. And if the growth rate is 20 next year, it's fair value. If the growth rate is 40, it's half price. If the growth rate is anything less than 20, it's overpriced. And so that became the rule, not the exception, until free cash flow ratio came along when Amazon wanted to buy Zappos and Whole Foods and other things instead of paying taxes on profits, which makes total sense. So now the whole model is CFV, or free cash flow ratio rather. Um, and so we brought this to crypto, and I call it the crypto fair value model. And with this, you can literally look at anything. And Charles Hoskinson and I talked in a space and agreed that a meme coin has all of these except the actual underlying network power score, but we could adopt the network power score to Tron or Cardano or whatever Ethereum, the network that it's built on. In which case, we can value meme coins too, tokens of
Okay.
any variety.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And so my numbers here for you guys are that you guys in September had 2.238 million people in the world that held your coin. I believe you did about 250 million total transactions in the last year. I'd love to hear what you guys can help me find because, and maybe it pulled differently for you guys. ATV about 5.5 billion a month. And that's probably going up. How many developers do you have? Core and other.
Hard to say. I mean, you can check the GitHub, but
Right. And we do.
there's
And we do.
yeah,
And we
yeah,
figure
there's hundreds of
88.
people that participate. I mean, the there's the core. I guess you could say the core team. It's maybe a dozen, right, that are
Right.
really
So we
participating
figure there's
and
88
less.
total
Yeah.
that are
Mm-hmm.
actually core and building, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And so then circulating supply, I did not put in the circulating supply. It guessed at 18.563 million. Let's see how close it came. This is the one thing it should get right and it never does. 18.44 and it said 18.56. So it's actually off. So your value is slightly higher. It
Well,
never gets that
circulating
right.
supply should be is a little larger than that.
Is
It
it?
should be over 18.6 mil. Yeah.
Oh, good, 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 good,
It's
good. And
it's
that's
less it's less than Bitcoin. It's less than Bitcoin.
no, I know that. That's not a problem. This
Yeah.
is great.
Yeah.
So then we just punch it through the numbers, and that's where we come up with 55 billion. Right now, you
Okay.
guys are trading at like, I want to say like 7.5. Yeah, 7.4. Pardon me. So let me just pull out a calculator and say 7.4 divided, oh no, sorry, 55. 55 divided by 7.4. Yeah, you guys are like 7.5 times undervalued. Your coin really shouldn't be worth 7 billion. It should be worth like 55 billion if you were comparing apples to
Yeah. I
apples.
mean, listen. This analysis. So you're saying what, 2,000 a coin, 3,000,
I said
right?
3,000.
Yeah, 3,000. Yeah. So yeah. I mean, that's been my just my instinct analysis, right? So like I've kind of valued Monero. In terms of Bitcoin, right, should be at least zero point zero 0.02 Bitcoin. I see Monero ultimately becoming like 10% of Bitcoin's market cap, and settling there when you look at
Well,
a tool.
if it wanted to be 10% the market cap of Bitcoin, it would need about 8 million users. And right now you're over two. And according to us, I think that you'd need to grow 400% to be, and then do the math. If you're 55 and you guys went up 4x, you'd be about,
Mm.
220 billion. Well, isn't that about 10% of 2 trillion? Yeah. And by the way, Bitcoin right now needs to come down and retest 82 for all of you out there that just need to know where the markets are going. Not financial advice, but I'm just saying, like, anybody can read a chart. And so, like, 82, it's got to come down and do its head and shoulders down to its waist. And then it can struggle again to try and get through 100. And if it doesn't break that, then it can try and retest and come back towards 60, but 65. But really, 82, because here I think what's happening right now with and therefore Monero and all the market is that there are stimulus checks that are going to be coming out from the tariffs, and they should be about 2 grand when the last stimulus checks were about 1,400. And when they came out, we saw a surge in the market in 2021, a huge surge, and all that was just everybody getting free checks and dumping it in crypto. That is about to happen, guys. Okay. So all-time high on Bitcoin? Oh, certainly. Oh, certainly. And when we hit that in 21, we had a very, very, very anti-crypto Gensler, Gary Gensler, very anti-crypto. And before Chevron had been overturned, we had MetaMask and just everybody, Ripple, everyone was getting sued because they were able to interpret the law. But because Chevron said they could, but then Chevron was overturned. They can't interpret the law if they don't understand. They have to go back and get more clarification from Congress. All those lawsuits got dropped. So if you look at just the tea leaves, any obvious logical person, not financial advice, would say we're about to get stimulus checks. We're in a pro, not anti from 2020, 21. Anti, now we're in a super pro. Our president has his own damn meme coin, for God's sake. He says we're going to be number one in crypto. Treasury Secretary Besson says we're all pro crypto. None of these things existed in 2021. So, in my opinion, this retest to 82 is to wash out the suckers so that they can load their boats before they take it to 150, 165. And now, it's overpriced, but it'll grow into it maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
But I
I'm just
wouldn't be
yeah.
dumping any crypto right now because I really do think it's just suckers getting washed out before the next obvious leg up from the stimulus checks.
Yeah, I'm all in, right? I'm an air so there is no dumping for me.
Right.
I just try to live off of it, right? So I have businesses that earn Monero, and then I run those businesses by spending Monero. And at the end of the day, did I spend less than I earned? Good. I'm earning Monero over time, and I value my wealth in Monero and just trying to stack that way by creating value and selling,
Oh,
selling
and by the way, you
products.
guys are
And
continuing higher. Your spikes just keeps on
all
going.
right,
You're
that's
at
good. I know you got
403.15.
the magic touch. I don't know, man. I don't know what it is. Even with my Zcash shilling.
And the thing is, nobody's even listening to our pod. I must just be lucky.
uh,
But you know what? Really, like we
oh.
have like 150 in mine. I don't know. How many do you have in yours? There aren't even that many people here right
I'm
now.
showing like almost 400, almost 500, 469. It's showing.
Okay, so you're showing
Yeah.
that you've got 219. I've got 170. Maybe I need to refresh this 1 second. Refreshing. Okay, you've got 222. I've got 170, and Dapit has 51. But but yeah, during the day, this is Friday night. People are out hanging out. I didn't
Hmm.
announce this until really late in the day. And then, you know,
Well, over
we
here on my side, it's showing almost 500 live viewers. That's mostly X.
Oh, then you've definitely
Yeah,
also
yeah.
got, because 220 through 3, 400, 450, 470 of those viewers are between you, me, and Dapit, which is our AI
Mm.
company. Okay.
Okay, okay.
But I'm just telling you that on a normal day, afternoon, if we're running towards hour and 20 here, right now we should be at about 1,500 people, and we should be 2 grand by the end
Mhm.
of the hour. And that's if this was our first show ever and nobody even knew what was happening. But if people
Okay.
know what's happening and we got that, then we should. And
Mhm.
also remember, right now everybody's all screwed up because of this new. Um, you got to log in to your messenger now, or you don't even know you have messages. That killed everybody's
Yeah.
podcast
That was
this week.
annoying. That was annoying.
Oh,
That
I
was a
kind of
major issue.
decided to go do farm work because nobody's going to see me anyway. You know.
Good for you. Good for you, man.
Yeah. So, what questions do you have about the Monero value that you think I'm wrong?
It's not that I think you're wrong. Like I said, right? That's where I'm currently valuing it as well right now. Ultimately, I see it as, like I said, like point 0.02 Bitcoin at its least, right? At its base, like that should be like the bottom for Monero. They should always be at least a point oh 0.02 of a Bitcoin,
Hmm.
and that right now that would put it at like $2,000 with Bitcoin at $100,000, and then over time I see it going up against Bitcoin, and moon case, right? Long term, if everything really plays out as intended, I see it being as at least 10% of a Bitcoin, right? So whatever that would be. Right now
Okay,
it's
check this
10K, right?
out.
So
Dapit just
yeah.
texted me and said the all-time high is 453. So I guarantee freaking to you that if we start doing weekly podcasts and we get the message out to literally hundreds of thousands of people that own Monero, this thing is yeah. Yeah. I
I think
mean,
it's important to get the word.
this
How do people get Monero, right? I guess a lot of your viewers wouldn't even, right? I should probably explain
Kraken.
that.
You said go to Kraken.
100% Kraken. For those that don't have access to Kraken, that's another thing to mention, man. I'm here in New York. Do you know Monero is not listed on any centralized exchanges in New York?
Well, the Bitcoin license doesn't apply, does it?
Yeah, that's why. That's more. It's not totally clear as to why. I've been trying to basically figure out why and lobby for it and get it on exchanges in New York. But yeah, the bit license exists in New York. None of the bit licensed exchanges carry Monero.
All right. Well,
Never have. Monero's never been listed on an exchange in New York, and which is pretty incredible, right? Because I mean, I don't know. You're a numbers guy. You're a finance guy, but the fact that Monero's been cut out from the New York customers, like the financial capital of the world, from the advent of crypto until now, is pretty significant. And the fact that Monero has managed to grow as much as it has, despite things like that, right, being cut off from all New York City customers is pretty impressive. But yeah, there's ways to obtain Monero without being on Kraken. You could download Cake Wallet, and then built into Cake Wallet are swaps. So you could do an instant swap between whatever, you get Litecoin, you get Dash, whatever it may be. And you could swap it instantly in Cake Wallet to Monero using instant exchanges. So for those that don't have access to Kraken, I think it's important to say. Kraken is great, right? If you have access. I don't have access to it as a New Yorker. I don't have access to I'm like one of the Monero guy, right? And I have no way of going to even buy Monero on a centralized exchange, which freaking kills me. But yeah, so if you don't have access to Kraken, I would recommend people use Cake or use Trocador. You go to Trocador, they're a good instant swap, and you can swap essentially any crypto into Monero.
well,
And the
Monero's
nice thing about
taken off now, bro. Like it's now it's 404, now it's 405, now it's 405.86.
all right.
Yeah, bro. Let's do this.
Is this you? Is this all you? I've been talking about Monero for 10 years. I do one show with you, and we're approaching all-time highs.
Yeah, I know. It seems to happen with every coin when they do their first show. Now 406.29. Come
All
on,
right.
baby.
That would be wild. That would be wild if it like hit
just so you know,
500.
I don't front run any of these. I own Digibyte because I love Jared Tate and what he's doing. 406.32. I love Jared Tate and Digibyte is 500x undervalued. No offense, Monero, but if I have to put my money somewhere right now, I have to put it in Digibyte just because it's 500 times overvalued. You guys are only like 8 times undervalued. So,
Okay.
but
I remember Digibyte from back in the day. I knew some like Digibyte maxis from back.
406.70. Come on, 407. Come on, 407. But I'm just telling you this as I'm calling it out because I don't want anyone to ever think that like I load up on these coins and then I go in and I hype them and then I get out and I go in the next coin. If I had done that, I could have turned 10 grand into like $1 million now, but no. But this is fun for me,
I mean,
because then I can
yeah.
wholeheartedly enjoy watching you guys that have held it so long. Come on, 407, let's hit. I love this. This is so fun.
That's funny, man. That's
Yeah.
funny.
By the way, when I posted you guys, you were 392, 406.81. Come on, keep ticking. Look at that green candle. Look at your 24-hour chart right now of XMR. Just look at your 24-hour chart and look at that bottom there where it V's just before our show. I posted at 392. And if you go and you don't believe me, go to my wall and scroll down and you'll see we're about to podcast. And right now it's at 392.60.
All right. So we got to keep this stream going until we hit 2K.
Do you love this? Do you love this? So yeah,
we'll stay live.
Candles.
We'll stay live until 2K.
But your real value, you're not at fair value until you guys hit $3,000.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Now, I don't necessarily agree with how you got there. I mean, I'd have to see like really understand how you got these numbers, right? Because Monero is, you can't see anything on the blockchain. It's really hard to get any insight into it. There's 20,000, we know approximately 20,000 Monero transactions that happen per day on the blockchain. Now, I get you're saying, no,
that's
talking
on
about
the blockchain though, right?
Right.
That's
no, I get you. So you're trying to come up with.
How many users do you think own Monero over at Kraken? Because they show one.
Yeah. I know. So it's one wallet. Yeah, right. So how many people are holding Monero on Kraken? Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know.
How many other exchanges in the world actually list Monero that aren't majors?
Well, I think a good number to know too is Cake Wallet, which is the primary wallet for Monero, just hit a million unique downloads. Now, obviously, people use that for other cryptos as well. You know, they've become a Bitcoin wallet as well,
Yeah.
popular Bitcoin wallet. But anybody that's kind of using Cake, I would feel a pretty high percentage of them would at least be getting some Monero, because you'd probably be using another. If you're a Bitcoin maxi, you might be like, I'm not going to use the wallet that also holds Monero. So probably a good share of those customers are holding Monero on a Cake wallet, of those
Right.
a million
So you
unique
add up
downloads.
Kraken and you add up Cake, and then you add up a couple of more, and the next thing you know, you certainly could be over 1 million. And especially because everyone saw Zec and Dash run so hard, and everyone's saying privacy coins, privacy coins. You don't think a whole bunch of people loaded in and bought a bunch of Monero. In fact, we increased our expectations of Q3 over Q2 specifically because of that.
How do you help me get Monero listed on the exchanges in New York? You
Well,
seem like a
maybe
guy
not.
who you seem like a
Yeah.
guy who knows the right people.
Well, it's not that, right? Because like we may, if you watch one of the Sunday with the Senators that we did with Digibyte, I think we got like 18,000 views on that one. 5,200 live, and then it fed from there. But we talked about Digibyte and why it hasn't been allowed onto Kraken, Coinbase, or Gemini, even though it had 5 times the
Never.
proof of work. Never.
It
And
was never listed.
never,
Wow.
never. You have to go buy it on Binance.us, where you can only buy $200 worth, but you can dump all you want, or crypto.com, but not on Coinbase, Kraken, and Gemini. And so we're going to go after them for that. We absolutely are.
No,
There,
what do you think the reasoning was
but
there? Okay.
we're talking to Kraken in the background, and that is
Okay.
preventing lawsuits and hearings by AGs in Idaho and Arizona right now. We'd be pushing for that, but Kraken's talking. And we think once Kraken lists, we think that Coinbase and Gemini will list. Now, as for you guys and privacy and that, I would certainly love to champion that. I'll write that down. Champion that.
Yeah. I mean, so what I'm doing here in New York, I mean, I work on a lot of things, so I only have so much time in the day, but I am trying to make this one of my new projects, which is getting the bit license eliminated in New York, and do it in a way, this isn't for Monero only, right? There's a lot
No. Everyone hates that. And
right.
it's
So
bullshit because a small
we
group of
could
people get
unite.
to decide.
Yeah, like
The
we could unite
gatekeepers.
around that.
Yeah,
Exactly,
that's
right?
right.
Let's eliminate the bit. Like even the Zcashers should be in on that one. Let's
Oh,
eliminate
they are.
the
Of
bit.
course they are. Everybody
Yeah.
is. In fact,
Well,
I'm trying.
the thing is, Zcash is listed on the exchanges in New York,
Okay,
right?
so
So,
here I've got a better idea. I'm working right now with Near, and
mm,
I'm going to work with Multiverse X, and I'm going to be working with Bell's Coin. I'm going to be working with all these guys that are creating decentralized exchanges and shopping experiences to make sure that all the coins in our portfolio are listed against each other
hmm
and against USDC or whatever. But on
hmm
all of these, and then we all just need to put in liquidity, because if we go out and try and change the ways of the exchanges, we're never going to get it done. But on the other hand, if we now it's 407.23, guys, let's get to 408. Come on. Okay. And so,
420, baby, 420, and I'll
420,
light
baby,
one up.
420,
I'll light one up
420.
live.
So it's easier than trying to get the exchanges to change their ways, to make them change their ways because they're bleeding. And by that I
Mm,
mean, if we can create the most marvelous dexes, we'll push the campaign. There is no such thing as safe sex. And we will push that to millions and millions of people a week, and we will drain those centralized exchanges of their customers. And they
oh yeah,
probably have
that is the
paper
future. Yeah, it
and
is.
loaned out the rest, and the real stuff's probably not even there. And so if they get a run on the bank and they don't have the coins there, oh boy, you're going to get enough of FTX, and now no one's going to go out of sex, and the dexes will take all of their traffic. All of your bases are belong to us.
Yeah, I always explain, for noobs like family when I'm explaining the crypto scene and everything, and I see Coinbase as the AOL of crypto, right? And really centralized
No
exchanges,
doubt.
right?
Oh, that's
Right.
so well put.
So
Oh, I'm going
yeah,
to use your quote a lot.
yeah,
I'll attribute it to you, Douglas.
yeah. I've been saying that for years since I got into crypto,
Coinbase is
because
the AOL of crypto. Yes, it
right.
is.
Yeah, so it will one day be irrelevant. It's a walled garden. You're not really using crypto in it. It's not the right way to use crypto. The right way to obtain crypto is to obtain it anonymously without KYC, right?
Mm.
Or to mine it or to earn it. And that is the future through decentralized exchanges. If you have to swap another crypto into it, That's another thing to mention, actually, very exciting for Monero, is Sarai Dex is right around the corner from launching. And it's basically
Sarai
like,
Dex,
yeah, so I'm sure you're familiar with Thorchain.
of course.
So actually, Thorchain is going to be adding Monero now. We've been trying to get them to do that for
Excellent.
years. They're finally, I think they finally, for purely for competition, for competitive reasons, they feel like they need to add it. And then Sarai Dex is launching hopefully within, let's say, the next 6 months, and that's basically very similar to Thorchain in terms of the architecture.
40757.
All right,
Come on.
but it's a Monero based Thorchain, right? So Monero is the main trading pair, but it's liquidity pools, so you'll be able to stake Monero and instant swap into the other major cryptos with Monero.
How do
through
we get
Sarai
all of
Dex.
our coins on that? 409.96, 410,
There we go.
410. There we go. Get over there onto Masari. Everybody, MESSARI.io, 411.44, 411.83. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's go.
All right.
420.
If we approach 420, I'm gonna have to start rolling something over here.
I will come out of hibernation and smoke again if we hit 420 tonight. But I'm not going to start smoking again. But 420, 412, 412.15. Come on, baby. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. We're almost there. $8 more, not even. 412.16. Come on. That's a penny in the right
That is
direction.
pretty funny, man. That's pretty funny.
412.22. Everybody get over to Masari. You'll see the real on-chain numbers, not the bullshit at Coin Market Cap. 412.24. Come on, guys. This is beautiful. 26. I love it. Are you watching this?
I'm listening to you. I don't even
I'm
need
like
to.
a sports announcer. No, literally like this. Nothing makes my cheeks hurt because I'm smiling so hard for the Monero community. Every time I enter a community, it's 412.35. Every time I enter 39. Every time I enter community 41. It just makes me 42. It just makes me feel so good. 45.
That is funny, man. That is
love
interesting.
When I hit a community and their coin goes up, I just am like, I'm overjoyed. I'm so happy for that community.
So
because some of you guys have been waiting a year or so for these moves.
Maybe you have a larger following than we even know, right?
412.53. Come on, guys. 54, 57. Come on, 56. Let's go back. Other way. No, this is
where you getting the numbers? What site?
Go to Masari.io and search for XMR. Masari is
Masari.
the only place any of you should trust. Turn off CoinMarketCap, turn off CoinGecko, turn off CoinPaprika. They're lying to you. They're taking numbers from exchanges that are all wash trades, fraud, and fake, okay? Not all of them, but 99% of them probably. If they're, not in the big three, Coinbase, Kraken, and Gemini, even those can be faked. And decentralized exchanges like PancakeSwap and Uniswap, and those can also be faked because you can own both sides of the trade and get the fees, and then it's a wash trade again. So I'm telling you right now, guys, Masari.io. You guys are okay.
Yeah, on CoinGecko, it's sitting at 410, which is still very high. But on Masari, it's at like 412.
It was just at 412.68, and it's now at 411.66.
Okay.
I love this.
Monero could use this, right? Because the culture of Monero really isn't focused on price, but we need number go up. We do need more more pump in Monero, right? I'm a big believer in, like I said, just using it, and it will grow in value as people use it through the network effect. But
I'm a believer.
It's important. Some people in Monero are too much on the usage only, to the point where it's like they don't even want to see the price go up, because they think if it goes up too much, it won't function well as money. But I think what's good about Monero is it does go up. It will go up. It will go up forever against fiat. But it goes up in a way where it basically organically increases with adoption and usage, right? Because we don't have a lot of speculators in Monero. And I do think that is a good thing, because over time, it makes it more usable as digital cash, because people are willing to accept it. It's more of a store, a medium of exchange, right? Because it holds, it's not as volatile.
Yeah. I just posted the chart, guys. If you guys want to go look at Digital Gold Talk, I'll also post it into this thread. Copy link, and let me go over here. I'm going to post this into my own as well. But if you go over, I'll post it. Hold on one second. Paste. Let me go over to yours and I'll just post it on your wall. Money Talk is hosting. There we go. And I'm going to go to Money Talk, and then I'm going to go down to our show here. And guys, if you don't know what I'm talking about, I'm just pasting it in here. There's the shot. And then I'm also going to post in here the place where you guys can all go to just Masari. Oops, whoops. There we go. Monero. Copy, and then over here and into your thread. There we go. And I'm going to leave this. All right. There you go. You've got it, guys.
Oh, sorry. Hold on one sec. Sorry about that.
No worries.
Yeah, man. Let's get it to 420. I really would not mind. It's always
413.78. Let's go.
You know, Monero once hit 420 on 420. That was a memorable day.
We're about to hit 414.
There you go, brother.
414.
There you go.
Let's go. 414.01. Come on, baby. Let's hit that. 420. $6 more. Not even. 596, guys.
Wow.
We got this.
Yeah, we could do this.
We got this, guys. Come on.
It.
Now 675. I just need 575, brother. 572. Come on. 571. Hilarious. I cracked myself up, Douglas.
I'm preparing the joint. If
Are you?
If we're approaching, we're approaching.
1434, 42. Come on, baby. Come on. Let's get to 415. Come on, baby. Let's go. Oh, we're so close. 50 cents. Come on. We get 50 cents out of you guys. Come on.
So let me ask you, man. Why are you putting Monero into your fund?
Because I think that it has an upside of only 7x right now. It's the same with Cardano. Cardano only has an upside right now of about 800%. And I say only because we have coins in our portfolio like Dash that should be $5,000 and they're still only $75, you know? So we still have things that have bigger upsides, but that doesn't mean that these aren't coins that are really doing it correctly and are going to run the gambit. So what we're going to do is we're having 3 funds. The first fund is $1 billion, and we're going to start deploying that January 15th is when that's rubber hit the road time. Okay. That's when we're out on the road. We're going 50 state tour. We're meeting all the legislators. We're doing a film on Netflix about it. My partner Noah is going with me. We're filming in 4K. We're going to be podcasting the whole time. We're going to literally teach the CFV to the state treasurers and to the legislators so that they can create policy that makes sense because they know what is crypto, why does it have any value, and what is that value, and how do we keep the constituents safe by making sure that one coin, Bitcoin, can't tank the whole market, and it's controlled by one group, BlackRock, that controls 20% of everything in the world, seemingly. Okay, we got 7 cents, guys. Come on, give it to me. Give me 4.15, 6 cents. Come on, give it to me. 5.15. Let's go. Come on, we got $4 more, guys. We got $4.
This is actually pretty funny. This is pretty.
$3.95. Okay, come on, give it to me, guys. $4.95. That's what I meant. Okay, so the reason that we're putting money into Monero is because that we see 2 million, but we see 80 million Bitcoin users, and we think there should be 80 million Monero users. So in that case, you guys could actually go from 2 million, you could go up 40x. And so you're really not just 8 times undervalued, you're potentially 320 times undervalued over the next 5 or 10 years.
How much money do you think your fund will be putting into Monero?
Okay, so we've found, and we've really literally figured this out from a Monero guy that might be listening right now named Yellow. Yellow is from the Canary Islands. Originally, he's from Italy, and he's a brilliant, wonderful man that brought us to Monero and actually introduced me to you and said that we should.
Oh yeah, he's a great dude. Yeah, I know.
Love him. Yep. Beautiful man.
I never met him, but great internet Monero friend. Go ahead.
I plan on having dinner with him over some fantastic Italian anything dish sitting in his hometown of Italy someday. Okay, we're over 415. We're at 415.50, guys. I need $4.50. That's nothing. Give it to me. Come on, guys, give it to me. And so what we're going to do is $1 billion fund. The first one is going to invest in these 15 undervalued coins. But on more like a venture capitalist, we're going to put the money into Monero, but we're going to use a system more like consensus, but it'll be not for profit. And this not for profit consensus, Visa's not for profit. if you think about it, like the sorghum. 416. Come on, guys. We need $3.50. Give me $3.50 worth of love. Let's hit 420. I know we can do it. 416.42. God bless you guys. 416.60. Let's do it. 416.66. 416.67. All right, come on. Come on, guys.
Wow.
You guys got this. You're $3 away. You're 82 cents. Come on. We got this. Come on, hit 417. Somebody give me 417 love.
The joint is prepared. The joint
Give
is
me
prepared.
some 417 love, my man. Come on, let's see it. No, not 666. You went down. I want go back 17. Okay, so what we're going to do is this $1 billion, we're going to invest in a 20% of it normally comes to us as a fee, a management fee. 2 and 20. That's a typical venture fund. I think Anderson Horowitz gets 3 and 30. That means they get 2% per year in management fee for 10 years. And those the companies they invest in, that's locked up for 10 years. Nobody can get out. Okay, so you've got this. And now what do you do with this? Well, we don't have a fancy office on Sand Hill Road. We don't need to have food trays and hot secretaries bringing in water for people. We don't need that, right? So what are we going to do with it? We're going to be like Consensus for Ethereum, but we're going to build that right into our model so that this nonprofit now funds Monero. It funds Zcash. It funds Bitcoin Cash. It funds Litecoin and Bell's Coin and Digibyte and Dash. And you see all of these coins, Multiverse X, ICP, Rune, Near Protocol. Now we're picking up Chia Network with the brilliant Bram Cohen and Gene, who had eMusic. I mean, brilliant. I'm investing in the team there and their product. We've got Raven Coin coming, Solana. We're into all of these great coins. And so what we do is, as any of them are willing to build utility and adoption and have hackathons and create apps, we'll give out grants to anyone who wants to do that. No problem. Okay. And so how much? $1 billion, 200 million will go to those grants and everything for these communities.
Oh wow! So you're saying like the Monero project will be able to get
whatever you want. You guys, you want to build a Craigslist, you want to build XMR Bazaar, you want to do marketing, advertising, whatever, come to us. If you've got a good sausage maker or you know how to spend $1 and make 10 for you, great. We'll give you a grant. We don't want the money back. It's not a loan and we're not investing in anybody. Now, will you have to go through a process where our people look to see, first of all, put it out to the crowd. Did the crowd say they even want your product? Because we start there. You have to have enough people come in and vote your product up that you even got there in the first place. But I'm sure yours will be. And so then once they're voted up, then we interview the team and do background checks and references on the core people and everything. And if that all checks out and they're brilliant, beautiful people we love, then the next thing is we look at your finances. What is your pro forma? You should have a cap table. Those of you that don't know, pro forma is pre-finance, pro forma. A P&L is after you have revenue and you actually know what you've got. So pro forma. And so what you should always have is a cap table. But I start backwards. I start with staff, and you have that general administrative and development for any software type company, AI, whatever, right? It's all software. And then across there, you have 12 months and you have boxes and you say quarter time, half time, full time. And if it's full time, it's just one, unless you've got like human resources, but you've got vice president of customer support. But under there, you actually have 5, customer support. And then you've got 2, and then it goes to 3, and then 5 and 7, whatever. Okay. Down below for each of these, you have a line item for how much each one costs. And then figure if they're getting actual paychecks, it's going to be like, it's going to be FICA, Medicare, workers' comp, all that. You're going to add like 23% to whatever that is. So now you've got the numbers, you know how much monthly, including all of the taxes and benefits, and now you know the real number. Now you go to page 2, and it's your 12-month burn rate, and it's already filled in. And it already shows right there exactly how much you're burning month to month pulling from here. And now we know your absolute staff cost. Now you go to page 3. This is where the rubber really hits the road. And now at the top, you've got your line items of revenue in, costs of those revenue, and then your net. And then below that, you've got your staff, and there are your lines that came from the other page filled in. Now you've got your operating expenses, which are going to be fixed and variable. So you're going to have accounting and travel and rent and servers, whatever it is, and advertising, marketing, whatever, it all is down there. And now you're laying it out this way. And then at the bottom, we can look at this and this and say, did you have a profit or loss? And then we can take that 12 months out because that's all baked in. And then we can extrapolate for no more than 3 years. That's enough blue sky. Now you go to the final page, which is what are your 3-year projections? Now, when you guys have those and our finance guys look at it and we love what you've got, and you've got a group that says they're going to buy your product, and you've got an amazing team, hell yeah, we're going to put money into that. Grant. Like a scholarship.
That's huge. I mean, so like how much
418. Come on, guys. 418.10. Come on, guys. Come on. We're just $2
That's huge.
away. We're $2 away, guys. I love you guys. We can do this.
The joint is ready for 420, and the Monero ashtray that I purchased on XMR Bazaar will be christened and used for the first time. There it
just
is.
cracks me up, man. This happens every time. It's so weird.
The joint wasn't purchased with Monero, though. It was not.
No, because that would have been done on Silk Road, and that doesn't exist anymore. Okay.
Well, there's other ones that do, as I'm sure you know.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Yeah, man. I mean, what do you think of that? The fact that Monero is the winner in the dark markets.
Oh, it's definitely.
Yeah, but what do you think of that? I mean, in terms of like your, as an indication of
dark markets as opposed to fiat currency that all has cocaine residue on the $100 bills. I don't know what you're talking
about. My point being that
that all money is used for all sorts of purposes.
Yeah.
I'm saying that's not nefarious by intent. Then leave me the hell alone.
Exactly.
Go look at your U.S. dollars. Worry about those.
Yeah. My point being that it shows positive, that there's when people need digital cash, they choose Monero, right?
Yeah. Gosh,
so
I just love this. I just love this. You guys, come on. We're going to hit 420 tonight. Don't let me down. Don't lift me down. Amazing. I'm just going to...
You're willing it.
Going to post this right here because I think it's hilarious, but I got to do some quick math. So right now it hit 418. It's at 417.40, 417.41. Come on, guys, get back up there. You're 250 away now. Okay, so it hit 418. So I'm going to say 418 minus 392.6.
User 58. I like this guy. the Monero fam is enjoying the pump.
Dude, this is great. So you guys are up $25.40 on divided by 392.6 since you guys are up 6.5% just on this show. How much do you dig that? I love green candles.
We need you around, man. We need you to come down to Monerotopia, Mexico City. I think you would really enjoy that.
How safe is it?
Very safe. Very safe. I just came back. I was just in Mexico City last week.
Is it safe?
You've never been?
I went to this resort down on the coast. I forget what it's called. And my wife failed to tell me that it was like the murder capital. 418.50. Come on, guys. Come on. Give me $1.50. Come on, guys. We got
that was maybe Acapulco. But Mexico City is
people were murdered like while we were there, and I didn't even know it. And I came back and read about it, and there was a travel advisory: don't go to like any Mexican resorts, and so, or don't leave the resort when you're there for sure. But I don't like to have to look over my shoulder. Is Mexico City really? How safe is it really?
I mean, I'm being honest with you. I feel very safe when I'm there, and I'm there, with my wife. I just went down there with my baby. We brought our baby with us. It's literally cleaner than New York, at least the area that we're in. It's the Roma district of Mexico City. It's like, it feels like you're on, you're like in the West Village of New York City.
418.54. I like that. 418.59.
Yeah.
Come on, guys. Give me 419. Just go right there. Just do it. 418.66, 69, 76. Come on, guys. Just 24 cents. Just do it. Fucking do it. Just do it. 419. Just give it to me. 75. That's closer. Give me a quarter. Come on. Give me a quarter. 80. Give me 20 cents, guys. You got 20 cents in you. Come on. Come on. Oh my God. This is so fun. This is so fun. Oh, I live for going on shows and watching their coins go up. I wish that I bought coins every time before I went into these, but I don't, because I'd be Dan Dorfman of CNBC, and he almost went to prison for that shit. For 1885, 15 cents, 86, 14. You guys are making me beg for this.
Holy
Come
shit.
on. Come on. $1.14, guys. Come on.
User 58 is saying 420. Not yet. Not yet.
Oh, no.
We're
So
we're
close.
approaching. We're approaching.
88. Come on. We're $1.12 away now. Come on. Oh, okay, come on. 419, 22, 25.
Holy
Come
shit.
on.
Yeah.
75. Oh, come on, guys. 75 cents. Just give me the 75 cents. Come on. Come on. Come on. We're so close. 419, 32, 33, 36. Come on, guys. 40. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. 60 cents. You guys got this in ya. Oh my God. I love you guys. This is so fun. Okay, 42. Come on. Come on.
Where does it have the most volume right now? I guess Kraken.
Probably 419.34. 75. Come on. 25 cents. Give it to me, baby. Give it to me. Come on. You got it. Come on, baby. 81, 19 cents. Come on. Oh, you bastard. Don't you back off 420. I think they're going to back off. Don't you
No,
taco
it's gonna
on
go.
me. Don't
It's gonna go.
taco. Don't taco. Come on. 84, 81. Come on. 78. Everybody wants it as bad as I do. Just somebody buy it for 420 and make it happen. Let's see. Oh, fuck. Is this fun? Are you digging this?
I am. Of course. Who would want to see Monero hit 420 live? Live.
Do you
on
remember
stream?
70? Come on, we got 30 cents, guys. Do you remember the Warriors when he's like, "Can you dig it?"
So when do you think we approach 2K?
You guys will approach 3K just as soon as your entire ecosystem passes on the word of crypto fair value, sees that it's totally based on logic and that you literally can't refute it, and then just hold it to there and then go, okay, how are we going to get to 20 million users so we can 10x this thing again, right? And make it 30,000 a coin.
In terms of time scale, you see this happening.
Time scale, it'll happen as quickly. Okay, so the first billion comes in, and you guys, 200 million goes into these grants. 800 million buys Monero and other coins and locks them for 10 years. They cannot be touched. And that is tokenized. You can start trading, accredited investors can start trading on T0 or some such after a year and a day. Then Coin Fund 2, $5 billion. 1 billion of it goes into grants. Okay. The other 4 billion buys up Monero and these other coins and locks them away for 10 years with a new token representing that. Finally, Fund 3, our final fund, because now things should be, because think about it, the first fund should pop with all that money and all of it going in and locking coins and giving it out grants and marketing and advertising and everything for the first time for a lot of these coins like you that don't have any money. 24 cents, 19 cents. Come on, guys. 19, 18, 17. Come on, baby. And then the final fund is 15 billion. 3 billion goes into the coins and 12 billion gets locked up for 10 years. Full disclosure, we get 20% of the profits as they're traded after a year and a day. And to the end of it, we think ultimately this thing's going to 10x the whole 21 billion to 10, and we're going to make about 42 billion minus cost. We're probably going to make like 38 billion.
Hold you got to hold on 1 second.
Mm-hmm. And they're going the wrong direction. What are you guys doing? 418. You guys, you just fell out $1.50. I guess, okay, fine. Profit takers step in before we go to 420. You guys are going to break my heart. You're going to break my heart. Don't break my heart. Let's see. I don't know. I think I'm still on the air. Am I still on the air? If I'm still on the air.
Yes, you're here. I'm here. I'm sorry. I had to answer the door.
Oh, no, that's
Sorry
okay. I
about
was
that.
talking. So no.
And I almost missed it. So wait, I'm seeing we hit 419 on CoinGecko.
No, now we're at 417, now 416. It's okay. We do these things. And it could be that 419, let me see what Masari says was the high for the day. I don't know. I think I took a screenshot at 419.85. So 419.85 was the highest that we've seen. But guys, it's not over. It's just No, I took a screenshot at 4:18:30, but it did it. It's going to come back up. It's doing it now. We'll get all excited all over again in just a minute.
All right. Yeah, no, we'll get there. It's gonna get there today. It's gonna get there right now.
Yeah. So you've got
Um,
331. I've got 245 in here. Dapit's got 58. So what's it showing live total for everybody that's sharing it?
let me can I quickly run a little commercial on this side? It's a 1 minute thing for Monerotalk
I hope you do.
conference.
I hope you do. And I hope when you
Let-
come back, we didn't miss the 420. But I don't think we will. You go.
Exactly, and I got to say hi to my daughter too. She just came
You
in.
do it.
So.
You do it. Run the
All
commercial.
right, here we go. Here we go.
I'll be right back too.
Tendrás cenizo el pelo, pero serás más hermosa. Tendrás cenizo el pelo, pero serás más hermosa. En la Candelaria cuando llegará, en la Candelaria cuando llegará, en la Candelaria cuando llegará, cuando llegará, cuando llegará. En la Candelaria cuando llegará, en la Candelaria cuando llegará, en la Candelaria cuando llegará, cuando llegará, cuando llegará. En la Candelaria cuando llegará, en la Candelaria cuando llegará, en la Candelaria cuando llegará, cuando llegará, cuando llegará. En la Candelaria cuando llegará, en la Candelaria cuando llegará, en la Candelaria cuando llegará, cuando llegará, cuando llegará.
Yeah. Oh, go. You go. We'll see you. All right, cool. Bye.
All right.
Am
all
I
right,
back
all right.
by my? Okay. I'm
Yes,
back.
you're back. I'm back. I ran the Monerotopia ad. I don't know if you got to see it at all. It shows the conference.
Oh,
Yeah, man.
then,
Maybe you can come down there. I don't know. Think about it. Think about it. I think you would you'd learn a lot and you would make a lot of connections down there.
all right. How many people do you think are going to be there?
Like in terms of like pure Monero people, hardcore, like 200 people, and then we have locals that show up. So we have locals that.
So like 200
it's
are these like the core Monero people?
I mean a lot. Yeah, there are people that are interested enough to come to a Monero
Yeah,
conference.
right,
Yeah.
right.
So
Okay,
we have like
can I be a
the
speaker?
Monero the Monero devs. We have and then we also have devs from other competing projects as well. So
Can I be a speaker and talk about Monero's fair value?
Yeah, we could arrange that for sure.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you guys could hook me up and get me down there and put me on stage, like the main stage, so I can actually tell everybody at the same, not like 20 people in a side room kind of thing, like the main stage. Like, let me tell all of the 200 why you guys are worth what you're worth, and then literally take field questions from the audience that want to debate me on it. Then I would come down there. Then I would come
Yeah,
down there.
we could do that. I will do
Okay.
that. I will do
Let's
that.
make it happen. When is that?
I'm gonna tell you right now, man. The Monero crowd is a tough crowd, right? This
Good.
is not the, so they're
Good.
gonna ask you some tough questions, but
I hope so.
Yeah,
That's how we all learn.
awesome.
What was the date?
It is February 12th to the 15th.
Okay. So I'm going to be doing the nationwide tour at that time, but I'll make sure that the 12th to the 15th, and I'll probably bring my business partner Noah from Dapit down there with me as well. And so that's Mexico City. And what is the name of the event?
Monerotopia.com is the conference.
I love it. Oh yeah, man. I'll be there. I love it.
Awesome, brother.
Awesome, brother. Okay, you guys out there, we took some profits. I see that. You guys took it back to 415, but we got to get that $5 back or I can't hang up.
It's not over yet. It's not over yet.
Yeah.
It actually is always a big day when Monero hits 420. That's a significant price number for Monero. Actually, it happens to be like a level of support resistance.
Well,
in
it's
past.
interesting. The last time that you guys hit this number was actually May 19th.
There you go.
So it has been, if for anybody that wants to understand like what a big deal this is a big deal. Like this is a big deal. Okay. They say the high that day was 418.39 and you just broke it. You just hit 418.85. And this is Masari. Trust their numbers as highs. Don't trust the others. So what I'm telling you guys is you just broke your May 19th, 2025 high. Okay. You just on air broke your 1-year high. Okay. Are you checking?
Yeah. No, it's beautiful, man.
Okay.
Like I said, we'll have to have you on more often.
Wait. So April 12th, 2021 is the only point higher than where you were today. Do you understand that?
Oh, you're saying all-time high. We're approaching.
I'm
No,
saying
no.
I'm saying your 1-year high. You guys just beat it by like 10 cents. You just beat your 1-year high by 10 cents. But your all-time high ever was 517.82 set May 3rd. And that is literally the only record you have left to beat.
Yes.
And then your all-time high.
Clear skies. Clear skies.
Yeah. Clear skies. And it's a straight run to $3,000. But if we put all this time and effort and you guys put all the energy into it, I think we could turn this into 10 million. And then it's not a $3,000 coin, it's a $15,000 coin. And the more that we can get you guys to those points, the more money I make.
Turn what into 10 million? What are you saying?
What?
We could turn. You said we could turn this into 10 million. 10
yeah,
million.
Right now you guys only
users,
have like 2
million
million whatever users. And what I'm saying is I want to see you guys go to 10 million users. And I know you can. And I want to see you guys go to 100 million users. And I know you can.
What calculation are you using? Like assuming the user numbers you have are accurate, right? Let's what calculation are you then using to determine value, right? Because I mean, there could be power users or users that are holding Monero as a store of value, right? Wouldn't that contribute a lot?
Right, but the thing is, remember, we're doing apple for apples comparison, and so what I did with Bitcoin to get that number was simply say people touching Bitcoin. The people that touch Bitcoin. I don't care where you have it. And we're now drilling down using AI to get even more precise and weighting the different owners differently, perhaps power users versus a dead wallet that hasn't moved, but it has a non-zero balance. You have to count it. But those keys might be lost. I don't know. No idea. Right? And so we've got to refine. But right now, if you want to know the calculation, you just go to @DigitalGoldTalk and click on the top post and scroll down, and there's the calculation. And you just plug in the numbers to what the digital gold standard benchmark of those Bitcoin numbers was. Does that mean our benchmark is Bitcoin? No. Our benchmark is what came into crypto in December. It just happened to all go into Bitcoin. So we go, all right, well, it all went there. What were their numbers? Okay, well, then Bitcoin and everything else has to move off these numbers to have value or move up to these numbers to reach parity. Does that make sense?
Do you think
Does that make sense though?
Yes.
What I just said?
I hear what you're saying. It makes sense. Do you think Bitcoin is ultimately kind of toast at this stage in terms of its growth potential?
Yeah, I do. And the reason is because you can only funnel so much money into your Ponzi scheme, Michael Saylor, before people realize that you're lying and there are actually other coins. Yeah, there are only 21 million of that coin, which is slower and older and I shouldn't say older, slower, because I mean, first data of the trillions of dollars in credit, debit, and retail card transactions annually, first data owned by, of course, it's owned by BlackRock. It didn't used to be. It runs on Fortran and Cobalt. All right. So like if it's working, don't fix it kind of thing, right? Like, so okay, Bitcoin has functionality. I'm okay with that, but it is slow and it is expensive. And yes, it'll always be here, but it's because people lost their damn mind and believe these people who say that there's no other coin. Once everyone starts to realize there are a lot of much better coins, at least 15 we've discovered, then I think there'll be a flight to quality and then safe harbor. But until we decouple from Bitcoin, and will it take? Education and knowledge of the crypto fair value model and spreading and evangelizing that. And asking someone to prove it wrong. If you go out and show this to somebody, say, hey man, can you show where this is wrong? What is it? Oh, well, it's like you compare literally everything in the market to something else to see fair value, but we don't do it with crypto. And so we tried to create a benchmark here off of all this a tenth of a trillion that came in December of 24, all came into one coin Bitcoin. So we looked at the metrics and now that's the comp. And now even Bitcoin to go 10x has to 10x these numbers, right? And if it goes down, it's worth less, right? And if I reach those numbers, I'm worth that much. And if I'm only 10%, but I'm growing faster than them, shouldn't I be worth maybe even more than 10%? Now you're starting to look at things like equities, mathematical equations that add up to common sense.
Let me bring some of the Monero super chats I missed here because I just want to respect everybody that sent me a super chat. Awards, Ace Country Store tipped 0.001 XMR. Gresham's law is a problem for Monero usage and may cause it to follow the digital gold path that Bitcoin went down. We have accepted XMR at our store for the past year, and I had a total of 1 transaction with XMR. We offer a 5% discount. So this is a physical hardware store that accepts Monero. That in itself is awesome, right? Like I don't like, but yeah, are people running over to his hardware store to pay in Monero? Not quite yet. Not quite yet. But his concern is.
But wait a minute. The fact that you can is extraordinary. So for you at Ace. Yeah. God bless you for being ahead of the curve, because eventually this will be ubiquitous and literally everybody will do this. But what I will say to you, Ace, is that we, the Digital Gold Foundation, we're a self-regulating organization. And what we actually want to happen here is we want people to not necessarily live in their silos and create wallets that are centric only to their coin, and then the merchant has to find this one. But what we really want to do is we want to look at the side of the little thing in your register that has a little 800 number and a www dot here, and contact them, who take 80% of all transactions with Apple Pay or Google Pay or Visa or credit card or whatever. And instead of making you, the merchant, change anything, what we'd rather do is go find their API and give it to Monero and all the others in our Keiretsu that are working together, and we build all apps as this now industry standard spec, so that a Monero wallet, a Zcash wallet, a Dash wallet, Digibyte wallet, a Bell's Coin wallet, doesn't matter. You can snap it at your desktop and you'll get the money and you won't have to worry about anything else. So don't you worry. Be proud that you're an amazing warrior that came out ahead of everybody on this curve. That makes you smart.
Oh yeah. No.
If you build it, they will come. They're coming. Don't worry.
100%. I think his concern, with the Gresham's law, right? So he's basically saying, people spend the bad money first, right? So that's the problem that Bitcoin is having, right? People want to hoard Bitcoin. They don't want to spend it because they think it's going to go up.
But I would disagree. I would say that people spend the most currently fair valued. If that's what you're saying, I agree. Bitcoin will be spent first. Monero will be held, but eventually Monero, and it could be in a week, will reach their fair value. And then it doesn't matter. Now it's just they're spending the fair value in their wallet. Right now they're just holding on to it temporarily. It'll move, brother. It'll move. You're just early.
I agree with that.
But more merchants like you having it will get the word out and get us to CFV faster. So don't give up.
Yeah, so like XMR Bazaar, right? This is a good segue into XMR Bazaar. By the way, you were talking about Italy before. There are houses for sale in Italy, in Tuscany, for Monero on XMR Bazaar.
Now, how can I not absolutely love that?
Right? I mean, I'm talking to one of one of the people that has these listings up. I might try to rent something this summer for Monero. But yeah, those moments, those are dream come true moments for me. I heard like I don't even know how to pronounce his name, Giello or whatever, the guy who was on your show.
He said it's like Jello, but with a G, so it's Gello.
Okay, Gello. He brought up the cheese example. That was one of the first things I purchased on Monero, and it came straight from a guy in Italy in a small town who sourced the best Parmesan cheese from a local farm, and sent it to me for Monero. I know that sounds like, all right, big deal.
No, I
but
love that.
that is a big deal. That was me living off of Monero.
You'd like Joel of Dash. He's lived off of Dash for.
Oh yeah, no, I know Joel well.
He said to say hello.
He'll be at Monerotopia, by the way. He'll be at Monerotopia, by the way.
Oh, then I'm definitely going to be there. But you guys got to get me on the main stage.
I will get you on the main stage to give your.
I don't want to be in a side room talking for 10 minutes, and I'm like, why did I come here?
No, we'll get you on the main stage, and you can tell everybody why Monero will be 3K. If it might already be 3K by then, so I don't know. You might have to change your talk.
And then we'll just praise the day and say, guess what? You're fair value. Now, where do we go from here?
Right, and then we could just say spend, right?
The thing about it being in February is that we'll already start giving money to Monero.
Oh, by that time already?
Yeah.
Wow. That's amazing.
Yeah.
Like already, like the grant thing will already be happening by that time?
Yeah. Like we'll.
Oh, that is.
Yeah.
That is huge. I mean, so like, that is a reason alone to come down to Monerotopia and tell people that they could apply for grants. What. I mean, that will invigorate the community. Oh yeah.
I love that.
Oh yeah, that's huge. And you'll have all the right people in the room. I mean, those are the people that are working on Monero projects.
Oh, then definitely get me on that stage so I can come down there.
All right.
Another
great example. Somebody's selling a DeLorean, but somebody's also selling a 2013 GMC Acadia for 12 Monero, I think it is.
Is it still 12 Monero? We'll see when it doubles.
He listed it. Yeah, it's 5. He's selling it for 5K, which is currently only 12 Monero. So yeah, it's going down in terms of Moneros.
Isn't that beautiful?
I am probably going to buy that car.
Or Monero?
He priced it. So on XMR Bazaar, you could price in dollars or Monero. He priced it in dollars. Okay. I'm looking to purchase this car, by the way. So I'll be buying.
That would be wonderful.
I'll be buying a truck with Monero. Those are the little things for me, man. That gets me super excited when I see things like that. The idea that like you could actually live off of this stuff peer to peer. I know you're excited about, and I'm excited about price too. But you see how like I get more elevated and like that's what really stokes me, man. Is the being able to actually. And not using Monero to buy gift cards to say, all right, I could essentially use Monero anywhere because I could buy a gift card. No, using it for somebody who's actually accepting it directly, and I could buy goods and services off of it. It's kind of blows my mind that it's actually happening.
Well, I think that's beautiful, and I think that I'm probably going to regret when the fund starts buying if you guys are already at $3,000, because then I just missed 8x, and I'm going to have to, help you guys get up 10x from there to, get the next 10x. But I believe we can. And if you just look at it like if literally every coin, by the time we invest in it, let's say that magically all of these coins hit their CFV between now and when we start investing. Would we be like, oh, shoot, we can't invest. Everything's there. No. Because I think every single thing is going to 10x over the next 10 years. Easily. Maybe 5 years. They'll 10x over 5 years, but certainly over 10 years. And if all that money's put into them, 4 billion goes into grants alone out of 21 billion, 4.2 billion will go into grants. Okay. So, we're at 419, guys. 419.08.
Here we go.
Come on. Thank you. I appreciate it. I do need to go to sleep someday. No, I'm just kidding. I can't hang up until it's 4:20.
I know. It's like now we gotta wait now.
I'm not going anywhere. Come on,
dude. So tell me also, like, this fun thing sounds amazing, right? Especially the grant part. I'm really stoked about that, actually.
Yeah, and that just came because of speaking to Gello, because we were going to give it to these core teams, but I don't like all of the core teams. Like, I won't mention them. I said I wouldn't badmouth you guys anymore, and I'm not going to. But there is a foundation out there that tried to destroy everything I was doing at the beginning for no reason that I could see. Really sad. And they didn't check references or anything. They just started slashing and killing me. And
what do you mean they were trying to destroy it? Destroy what?
Well, so I came up with this whole model. I went to OneCoin before anybody else. I went to their foundation and talked to their scientists. Their scientists could not prove me wrong. I was invited to their stage to be a speaker, and somebody read something from 2017 online that said that I was a felon and a bad guy and did all sorts of terrible things. And instead of talking to the former SEC commissioner that went through that with me, or the senators and House members that are on my show every Sunday who went through that with me, and then you come to realize that no, I actually got rugged and I actually lost millions, 40 million to be exact. And so did all of my partners. And we never sold a single coin. But instead of finding that truth out, they just kicked me right off stage and told all of the scientists to quit working with me because anonymous trolls had said bad things about me. Wow. So guess what? I couldn't invest in their coin. Now we're only 50 cents away, guys. Come on. And so then I realized that I don't have to. I can create a non-for-profit 42009, 42012, boom, 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 420,
There you go.
420, 420.
There you go.
There we go, baby. 42012, 42013, 42014. Yeah,
right.
baby. Yeah.
I guess I gotta
baby.
light it up.
42012. Yeah, I don't smoke anymore. I'd join you. But wow. Congrats, guys.
I'm
420.
gonna light it up off camera. You'll just see this, but
Oh no,
yeah.
no, no! You can look. I
Yeah.
smoked for like my whole life.
No. It's cool. Hold up. You could.
It's and you're gonna use the Monero ashtray. I love that. 420. There we go. I just took a screenshot. Hey, bro! Congratulations.
All right, we hit 420 on air.
Save the photos.
There's
Okay,
the
we
Monero
sure did.
ashtray.
We sure did. So now I'm going to post a link, a thing, and say we hit 420 on air from 392 and hit a 1-year high for XMR period. Next stop, $600 so that we can blow past the old 5 something that was the all-time high from before period. And Siri is always SMR. Do I sound like I'm saying X or S? Because evidently Siri can't tell the difference or can't hear X. Okay, so now I'm going to add in this kick-ass photo of you guys hitting 420, and I'm going to hit go. I love it. And even if you guys go back to 400 from here, you go back again. I don't care. So let me get back to you. I can now shut this and quit looking at it like an insane man.
You willed it, brother. That was impressive.
I told you when I got here that I was going to do
enjoyed-
this to your coin, and and that's why I always take a screenshot and say before I went on air it was 392 in your case, and I always do that so people can't be like, well, no, man, it went up after you. No, it didn't. No, it didn't go up before I talked.
Just a few puffs. Don't want to go overboard.
Puff the magic dragon. See, so the next hour should be really good because now you're thinking you're thinking small.
I already was, man. I started I don't need it to hit 420. It's nice when it does.
Well, here, I'll take an imaginary one.
You don't need it, man. You definitely don't need the sativa. Maybe something that brings you down a little bit.
You know what? I only smoked sativas my whole life.
Yeah,
because
same
I
here,
like
same here.
I like to work.
Yeah, I only smoke sativa. I don't like the yeah.
Well,
Dude,
we did it, brother.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta give it to you. That was all you. You have I don't know. You have powers.
No,
So-
it's for whatever reason the message starts going out about the coin's fair value and people can't refute it. Nobody can argue with me or debate me on it, and then it has to be real, and then the coin goes up.
Yeah, I think I think maybe you have an instinct too, right? Like, right place, right time. I think you're one of those guys. I'm a believer. Tipped 0.005 XMR. There you go. Yeah, man. So let me ask you. So other than this fun thing, like, what else have you done in crypto in terms of business ventures, things like that?
Well, I could name a few things, I suppose. probably the biggest thing was Bitcoin was called a commodity based off about 10,000 hours of my work that was handed to Chairman Clayton over lunch 20 days prior to them telling everybody that it was a commodity. And it may not have been my work, but it's verbatim my work. Okay.
Hmm.
And then when you take a look at what I did before that to get that work to him, I had written Zen and the Art of Compliant Coin Maintenance. And I had written this document, and Hughes, Hubbard and Reed, the oldest, largest securities firm from 1937, they have ICE, New York Stock Exchange, NASDAQ type clients, members of Congress clients. They're the white shoes of the white shoes. And Roel Campos, by the way, was Elon Musk's lawyer. In 2018, Chairman Clayton, I believe it was, sued Elon Musk on a Friday morning at 12:01 a.m. for $2 billion, for $2 billion from Tesla. He had to step down as CEO and chairman of any U.S. company forever. And of course, Tesla fell down. Why? Because he said he was buying the company private for 420, but he was making a weed joke. Do you remember this?
Yeah, of course I remember this. Yeah.
Okay. And so I'm calling Roel and I'm trying to figure out what's going on, because he's not calling me back and he's not answering my calls, right? And so I'm just like, I don't get it, right? So I keep texting him, and on Sunday, he says, I say, should I contact your wife to see whether or not you're still alive? And he came back at me and was like, John, he called me like right away, and he's like, John, I'm so sorry, but like I have one client, he's taking up all of my cycles. And I was like, okay, is it Elon Musk? And he's like, well, so here is a post from Roel Campos. I'm not giving anything away here. What's he say there? Can you read that?
Thanks, Sean. I learned from your brother, Campos. Have a great day.
Yeah, no,
Which
above
one?
that, where he says, thanks, John.
Thanks, John. You ooze integrity.
Ooh, I ooze.
Okay.
Cool. I ooze. Okay.
And so who
So,
was that?
so
Who was that from?
Roel Campos, former SEC commissioner, is in on the
Mm,
cattle business with me, was there in 2017 with me, was my lawyer. I went to him, and
wow.
six of his lawyers plus him, seven, sitting around a table in DC for two days for a couple $100,000 well, about 150, to tell me whether or not I was right that Bitcoin's a commodity, and I can literally tell you what is a commodity and a security. And I can tell you instantly by any coin. And he, before I got to Roel in 2017, 16, I was at Consensus in May of the Ethereum Consensus, Joe Lubin's in 2017 May, and I met with everybody. Jed McCaleb, I met with Charles Hoskinson, I met with Amir Chetrit and Jacob Farber and all these people from Ethereum. I met like everybody and just had sit downs, and I was trying to create a self-regulating organization, but they were making too much money. And I also had an idea on how we could turn the current ICOs into something that was actually legal, if you can imagine. And I was pretty sure that I had it. But anyway, I want to just show you a picture here. So I finally, after I go to these guys and I'm like, look, I'm not really interested so much in your coins. I want to know why you didn't do illegal coin offerings. Why weren't these securities? And so who are your lawyers? And so I started working with all of their lawyers. And I'll just show you a picture. Here's the whole group of us. There's that went to T0 that day. This is whoops. You can see there's me, and in the middle, and there's Charles
Mm,
Hoskinson and Jacob Farber's down here, and Stephen Narioff of Ethereum. And Jacob also was with BitShares with Charles Hoskinson and Dan Larimer, but I think he took the BitShare side of things with Dan. Anyway, you know, so I meet all these guys and we do all this stuff, and then I go on a freaking 17. I go on this journey in 17, and I talk to 48 lawyers, including Roel and his. I talk to all of them, and I'm the hub, and they're all spoke. So at first they know more than me, but after a while I know more than them because I know everything they taught me, and now I'm teaching them. And by the time I get around to Roel Campos and Hughes Hubbard and Reed, I know more than all of them. So anyway, so I call Roel, and I'm like, you know, he calls me back and he's like, I'm working with one client only right now. I just don't have time. And I said, is it Elon Musk? And he said, yeah. And he said, but it's not coming out till tomorrow, John. But I guess it's coming out already. So, but just don't tell anybody. And I'm like, yeah, I won't, of course. And I said, but listen, I can settle that right now. The SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission, was set up. Its literal charter in life was to protect the value of the shareholder. And since they sued Elon and said he has to step down forever as CEO chairman, 2 billion from him, 2 billion from Tesla, the stock's down like 60 or 30%. And this dark gray cloud is going to keep it down, that shareholder value, and may even run them out of business. And you'll have literally destroyed the shareholders. Elon didn't, but you're going to be known for this. So what Elon's going to do is he's going to leave the United States. He's going to shut down all of his US companies. I don't know what he'll do with SpaceX, the Boring Company, the Tesla company, the battery companies, Neuralink, all of these, they're gone. You just lost them. You guys lost them. You, the SEC, you lost them. And you'll forever be known for that. Or 20 million from Elon, 20 million from Tesla. He stays on as CEO forever, and he's chairman only, has stepped down 1 year and only from that company. And he's like, oh, John, Elon would love that. And 24 hours later, that was literally the deal. So that's who I am. And on that 10,000 hours of work that culminated with 48 lawyers with Royal, I wrote Zen and the Art of Compliant Coin Maintenance and said, I'm going to publish this and I'm going to have your citations. And he's like, you can't do that. You can't put our name on it. And I'm like, why not? And he's like, because you're literally trying to break up all of these ICE and these banks and everything. Those are our clients. Not going to happen. I'm like, well, I thought we were friends. I guess we're not friends. And then he wrote back a little bit later and he's like, no, John, we're friends. I'll tell you what we could do. If you're okay with it, I will rewrite it as my work. I will let you see it first, of course. And then I will present it to Chairman Clayton J over lunch and see what he thinks. And I said, that would be wonderful. And so I never got any credit for it, but I'm pretty sure that was me. So when you
That's
say,
amazing.
do you understand coins and compliance and how do you know all these people and how do you know all these House members and senators? I managed their campaigns for 4 years and most of them owe their careers to me. And they went from House rep to senator to Congress or lieutenant governor or whatever. Yeah. Speaker of the House from assistant majority leader. Yeah. And I helped them
That's
with
amazing.
that. So
What do
that's
you?
why I have politics and crypto.
That's amazing, and that's important. What do you think? Some of the cypherpunks out there like don't even they don't think we should even be like negotiating with the state in any way. I do consider myself a cypherpunk, not as extreme in that sense. I think I agree with you. The path forward, obviously build unstoppable tech that no government can stop, no corporation can stop.
That's why we love Monero.
But at the same time, lobby the institutions, lobby the governments, especially the U.S. government, to be more accepting of this technology, and then we just get to the finish line faster by doing that, as opposed to just saying "f you" to them and completely ignoring. I do think there's benefit that comes with interfacing and trying to get them to change and evolve and adapt.
This thing here says November 9th, you guys hit 461. Is that true?
November 9th?
Yeah, this year.
Yeah, that's certainly possible.
Oh, well, then you didn't hit an all-time high for the year, guys. You guys have some work to do. We need 462. Come on, we've got more time. No, I'm kidding.
We hit 420 though.
We hit 420. I'm good with that.
Yeah. Yeah, we hit. Yeah, it looks like November 9th. It hit as high as like 450.
I wonder why in the world. If
Yeah.
you guys go to Monero right now and click on 1 year, it doesn't show that at all.
What do you mean?
If you go to year to date, it doesn't show that. It shows the high and was May. But if you click on 1 month, it then suddenly shows that there was this real big jump from about 364 all the way up to 461.26. Now, does it show that on CoinMarketCap?
I don't know. CoinGecko. It's showing November 9th that it hit around 450.
Okay.
If you look at it as a 1 year chart,
Right
see the
now, I'm looking
spike
at
there,
all, and it shows 453 in 2021. And this is let me go to TradingView. See, this is what I don't get about CoinMarketCap either. I don't get, but God, that's a green candle. Holy shoot. That's beautiful. Okay, 1 week. No. Trading view. Well, if somebody in the audience knows the answer, because see, this is craziness. And they're only showing me 1 month's on. Let me go to CoinGecko.
Somebody's saying 468 was the high.
468. Okay.
I guess
All
on
right.
November 9th.
Okay. All right. Well, then we got
Yeah.
to get back there. I did that happy dance for nothing. No, I did it so that you could smoke.
No, we hit 420, man. It is a significant. I'm telling you, it is a significant number for Monero historically for like resistance.
Oh, really?
But no, it didn't hold above it, so that would be. But
Oh,
hey,
well, then we just need
could
to. That's all.
we could be just bumping around right now. Maybe we're
No,
gonna.
no. This is going to be
Yeah.
good. And I love that we're doing this while the market is crashing.
Yeah, that is amazing. It's showing that there is a real move to privacy coins, right?
Yeah. Okay,
I mean,
so
this.
what I'm looking here is that you guys, yeah, privacy is what there is the buzzword right now, I guess. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, it looks like you guys broke about 500 in 2017, and you guys hit about 412. Yeah, even this isn't showing it. I don't get it, guys. Go click on XMR at CoinGecko and click max, and it does not show that hit 400 or 463 or 468 or anything like that. Why?
What do you mean? It doesn't show when on November 9th
On
or
November
what?
9th. Right.
If I go on
November
Coin, it's there. No,
November.
it's there.
What is the date today?
Today is the 14th.
Right.
Maybe you're just seeing it
Anyway.
as one candle. I don't know, man.
I
I don't know, but it's there. It
I don't
happened.
know.
It happened. Let me ask you something else though, because you were talking about the things that you tried to get done on a legislative level. Do you think we get to the point anytime soon where crypto is regarded as money? So there's no capital gain event every time you
Yeah,
spend
right.
use it?
So you should tune in Sunday with the senators. We talk with Senator Mark Fincham every week. He's brilliant, and he essentially got a law passed under Ducey under his first term as a House member. He got legislation adopted and passed into law about species currency and to treat gold as species currency, so that if you buy gold and then you sell it for a profit, you didn't really sell it for a profit. You just exchanged one type of money for another that just had more buying power. And he got that passed into law. So he did the same with crypto in the last session, and it got past the House and the Senate. But that faker who stole the election in 22, that chick, I'm never going to call her governor. That chick that was Secretary of State that stole that election vetoed it. Of course she did, because she's evil and is run by the same people that want CBDCs, in my opinion. So yeah, he has already tried it. And one of the things we're going to be doing as we go across the entire nation is to try and get laws like that passed in every single state and 5 territories.
Yeah. We need it on the federal level as well, right? So no
Yeah.
capital gains assessed on any crypto
I've got to plug in
transaction.
this computer or it's going to die. Give me 1 second. Let me just grab this plug.
Do your thing.
But understand that legislation is not going to be the type of legislation that says the treasuries can invest in crypto or that they're going to create a strategic reserve. All of those things are nonsense. That's just never going to happen. And so instead, what's going to happen will be more likely that first they'll pass laws about it being like species currency, untaxable if you're trading it. Okay, that'll be one thing that'll happen. The other thing that'll happen is they'll put law in the books that says if you've taken over money from a drug dealer or can you guys keep that on the books or can you just sell it? And if you sell it, what's its fair value? They need to know that. And then the other third thing that would be passed into law very quickly is the right now on the books, if you were to die, and we would liquidate your estate if we're the state, we would liquidate your estate if there were no inheritors, and then we would take that money and use it for widows and orphans and veterans and feeding the needy and good things for the state. But when it's crypto, they don't have a law for that, so it sort of like sits on a shelf kind of thing. And so we want to help them with that, to understand the treasurer, what it's worth and why, and then be able to liquidate it, turn it into whatever currency is good for covering needs. But as far as treasuries, that'll never happen. Not anytime soon.
Yeah, I mean, also, obviously with crypto, especially something like Monero, you could just pass it on to whoever you want without governments even knowing about it, right? So when people pass away, they could, if they so choose, pass on their crypto privately to their loved ones. That's a powerful thing as well.
Yeah. I mean, it's just gonna be interesting going around and talking to all these legislators and just seeing if they have any understanding whatsoever about what crypto is. Because my guess is no. The problem is that the state legislators want your votes and they want your campaign contributions. And so they make these laws of state treasuries and things, excuse me, crypto treasuries. And those are never going to happen because the person that has to pull the trigger, like for instance, in Idaho, it's used to be House Rep Julie Ellsworth. Now she's treasurer managing 11 billion. But she's working with 22 other states that control over half of the state treasury money in the entire nation, and none of them are ever going to invest in crypto because the state legislators might get your votes, but they'll lose their careers over it. And their next election, if they bought Bitcoin at 115 and now it's at 95 and we have an election, people are going to be like, look, she lost. 1% would be $110 million. And if it went down to 60 from 120, they'd be like, oh, look, she lost $55 million and she'd never have another job. So she's
Yeah, I
not
mean,
going to do it.
the
Unless
president
there's
of
law
El
that says she
Salvador.
has to, because then she can go,
Right.
hey, I bought it only because I had to. I didn't want to.
Right,
Yeah.
right. It worked out pretty well for the president of El Salvador. There was that period where it crashed, and he was getting a lot of political pressure for that. But obviously, it's since went up. But yeah, that's a good point, right? They don't want to take risks. They want to win. They want to win elections. They don't want to risk doing something that could jeopardize their political career, right?
Yeah.
100%, man. Listen, I got a crying baby in the
I
background.
heard that. I just heard that.
Yeah.
Okay.
In a
So listen,
couple of rooms over. I gotta move over there and
what a pleasure.
call.
And by the way, I said you're a bald man like me. You're not bald. You've got beautiful hair. My problem, I zoomed in on your photo when I was setting up the ad, and I'm like, oh God, his hair's white. And I called him bald on the phone. Oh shit. Oh shit. No, you've
No,
got
no, I'm getting there, man. I'm definitely balding. But hey, yeah, I'm not quite there yet. I just gotta take a razor to it.
It's the best thing. It's the easiest haircut. Well, brother, thank you very much. And I would love to have you over. We're gonna do a once every day. Once every week. We are going to do a Monero show. And the way we will do our shows is we'll have 3 coins. And we'll spend 2 hours with one, and then if they want to stick around, they can. But the next group is coming at the top of that hour, and we just keep going. It's sort of like Johnny Carson. You just move down a chair because the next guest is here, and everyone can stay for the party if they want. But it's a 6 to 7 or 8 hour show with 3 coins, and we'll rotate those coins so that people that don't know Monero can learn about Monero. The other two audiences will learn about Monero, and we won't be there to compete with each other. We're there all to party and have fun and be happy. But if we can get a day that is the Monero day, then we rotate people around Monero. And if you wanted to join that, and I'd love Yellow to be able to, he's 3 or 4 or 5 hours ahead of me.
When are you doing this? You're saying this is a daily?
It's a weekly. So if
Oh,
you
okay.
wanted to,
I was like, damn. I was like, that's intense. Okay.
no, I do 7 days a week. Like
Okay.
I do 7 days a week. But I would like to have Monero on now. Monday, for
One
instance,
day a week. Okay.
Monday is always Digibyte and Dash. It's always Jared and Joel.
Mm.
Always a round table, not necessarily about the coins, but we'll touch on them. But mainly it's round table, and that's what I want. Sundays is always with the senators. Saturday is always near protocol. Thursdays is always internet computer. So
Yeah, give us a day. Give us a day. We'll get people on there for
now
sure.
it would be during the day though. Like I typically never do evenings because this is my wife's time.
Yeah, I mean that's tough for me, but I'll make it work. I could do lunchtimes. Like when do you normally?
We could do
it on?
Saturdays. You could be Mondays.
No,
you guys could be
Saturdays I got the show. I got my show I do, and then
all day.
Weekend time is family time. I got to do family time, brother.
Got it.
Family time.
All right. Well, you tell me.
yeah.
Tuesday is Zcash day. We didn't hit with them this week just because I was traveling that day. But
Okay.
Zcash is typically Tuesday. What if you guys did Thursday?
Yeah. I mean, obviously, yeah. So that'd be around.
So I
noon?
do from 11 o'clock until 11 o'clock until 1 o'clock Eastern. And if
Okay.
it goes beyond that, it does. But it'll
Oh
be
yeah,
at
I'll
least.
be able to check. I'll be able to check into that for an hour lunchtime
You
on
let me know
Thursdays.
which of
Yeah.
those 11 to 1 or 1 to 3 Eastern.
Yeah. Probably be the 1 to 3 time slot.
Great. Then
Yeah.
from now on, Zcash is going to be at 11 to 1 on Tuesday, and you guys are on Thursdays from 1 to 11, always. Okay.
Oh wow. All right. Yeah, I'll see who
Okay.
else we could find. Obviously, so it's not just me, and
Yep. From
we'll
1
we'll
to
get people to
11.
jump on.
Oops, not Monday. Sorry, Thursdays. Thursday from 1 to 11, we do XMR weekly. I love that. And then, I've invited Gello, of course, because he's a brilliant genius. I'd love him to co-host that, and maybe he'll have time during the day.
Yeah, that would be great if he could take the torch with that. That would be
He's so
fantastic.
amazing. We'll
Yeah.
hope so. And then we'll have you, Douglas, occasionally. But if I don't know anybody over there, but if you could just get me like 3 or 4 big hitters that like have a lot of reach, so that if I teach them fair value and teach them what you're worth, they can turn around and go, this is what we're worth and why. Somebody argue with this guy. And if
Right.
you guys can't argue with me, embrace it and evangelize it. Okay.
All right, man. Yeah, like I said, the Monero crowd's it's an interesting group, right? It's not number go up focus, but like I said, like I agree with you. It needs some of that number go up energy right now.
This is
It
the
will
only
help.
reason that you
Yeah.
need number go up, guys, for those of you listening. The reason you need number go up is it attracts miners and it attracts developers and it attracts
Users.
investors.
Yeah.
And if you guys go sideways or down, you can be like, oh, yeah, but we're perfect money. We don't move in value, just slightly up with inflation. Well, it's brilliant if that's what you want to be. But then you have to absolutely move all oars and pull them hard towards adoption of merchant only, C2C, B2C, and B2B only, all the way through supply chains back to raw material. And if that's what you want to be, commendable. But if you guys want to do that, let's first get you to your fair value of $3,000. Then
Beautiful,
go
man.
sideways.
Let,
Slightly.
let's
At
leave it
least,
at that.
okay.
We'll leave it at that. I
Prime
appreciate
babies. I
the
forgot.
420 moment. We will be in touch, man.
All right,
Adios.
brother. Adios.
Cheers.
Hi, Moneroland. Thank you for joining us on this week's episode. We release new episodes every week. You can find and subscribe to our show on YouTube, Odyssey, iTunes, Spotify, or wherever you listen to podcasts. Go to Monerotalk.live for a full list of places where you can watch and listen. If you want to interact with us, guests, or other podcast listeners, you can follow us on Twitter, Mastodon, or any of our social media platforms. Monero Talk is also made possible from contributions by viewers and listeners like you, and supporting us is easier than ever. By typing in monerotalk.crypto in your Monero.com or Cake Wallet send address field to send us a tip. Once again, thanks so much for listening, and we look forward to being back next week.